watch WBQP on your computer, go to WBQPTV.com or go to Google and type in WBQP, the voice of the Black community.
Get WBQP radio on your phone, Alexa, or CarPlay. Have your community station wherever you go. Alexa, enable the WBQP skill and play WBQP Pensacola.
Listen to WBQP radio in your car on CarPlay or Android Auto while you're on the go.
Now, go tell everybody how to watch and listen to WBQP. WBQP, the voice of the Black community. An information station that cares. WBQP, the station that cares. It's Wednesday. Hump Day. Have a wonderful Wednesday. With Morning with Vernon.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
Start your day with Mornings with Vernon on WBQP, Monday through Friday from 6:30 to 9 a.m. Watch on Channel 12 and listen on WBQP Radio on your phone, Alexa, or CarPlay. WBQP is your information station.
Good morning to my Facebook friends, Lois Bless Pruitt, Janice Womack Ewing, Alan Young, Jeannie Costin, and everybody else this morning. Let's get to work.
It's Wednesday. Hump Day. Have a wonderful Wednesday. With Morning with Vernon.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
All right, everybody. Good morning. Morning with Vernon, y'all. It is Wednesday, Hump Day, y'all. Middle of the week. July the 22nd, y'all. Yeah, this week is gone by like you've never seen it go by before. All right, I want to say good morning to everybody this morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We definitely have a very blessed good morning. As Lois would put it, in the morning's time, she says wisdom, Wednesday wisdom this morning. I want to say I agree with you this morning. I tell you what, it's Wednesday. We always have a good lineup for you on a Wednesday morning. We try to have prayer and weather and traffic and try to cover a little bit of headline news. And it's Wednesday. We're going to have Mr. Ellison Bennett on. Not only will he be on, he would be giving his version of what's happening in the community this morning with his community news that we can use. And also about 7:45, y'all, we'll be talking to Miss Jill Daggs, and she's going to be telling us what's going on inside Okaloosa and also what's happening in Santa Rosa County. 8 o'clock is time frame. We will have my guest host, Charles Thornton, on this morning. And we got two special guests this morning while Charles is on. We're going to be talking to this young man, Mr. Trey McMullen. He's running for State Representative District 2 here in Florida. And then at 8:30, we'll be talking to Mr. Earl Ford. He's a candidate for financial officer. He's a Democrat running for office this morning. And of course, you got this man running for office every day from Monday through Friday, okay? From Monday through Friday at 6:30 every day. So we want to make sure everybody, welcome everybody. You know, we have been having a little weather difficulties here. We got a tropical storm out near us, sitting out in the Gulf. We're going to talk a little bit about that this morning and what you should and should not be doing in preparation for this storm, y'all. Okay, and so you need to stay tuned. Stay tuned for that as well. Okay. All right. Let's go over and see what else we're going to be talking about this morning. See if we got a traffic report or anything like that with the hang on for a second. Let me make sure that we are online. Yeah, we online. I'm trying to see if we are on Facebook Live. Yes, we are on Facebook Live. Good morning, Jeannie. How you doing this morning, Sugar? And also Lois. Good morning. How you doing? Lois, I saw that post you got about I didn't get a chance to read everything, but about the fight that they had, the black boy and that white boy was fighting about something. I didn't get a chance to see the whole thing there, but I did read it. Good morning, Alan. How you doing? And Lois, of course. Did y'all get your coffee yet? See my coffee here? It ain't good. You know, coffee ain't good until you sip it. Suck it like this. Get your cup of coffee. Y'all tell everybody that we're on this morning because we got a great program lined up for you this morning. I tell you what we should do is go ahead and start the show off with a prayer. With a prayer perspective with our main man here, Pastor J.O. Gaston. Can you bow your head to the word of prayer before we start the show off this morning, y'all?
This is J.O. Gaston on this Wednesday. As a matter of fact, this is our wonderful Wednesday, where we come before the Lord and sacred words of prayer, just bless him for his glory. Let us pray. Father God in heaven, we come on this wonderful Wednesday, dear God, to bless you and to worship you and to pray over our families and to pray over ourselves and to pray over those that we're connected to. And so, Father, we take it all in stride because you're God. You know us better than we know ourselves, dear God. So we're claiming this wonderful Wednesday to your glory and honor for the edification of your people. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. And few good women this morning. Let's go on to the weather. Cheryl, what do you got to say about the weather this morning, Sugar? I know it's going to be raining.
Vernon. Here's today's weather for Wednesday. Wednesday brings a 50% chance of scattered thunderstorms, along with a high near 90 degrees and a low of 78.
All right, I figured that much. Y'all, we got some inclement weather. Miss Bertha May is sitting out there in the Gulf of El Mexico, y'all. Yeah, Miss Bertha May, it ain't no Gulf of America. I don't care what they say. It's the Gulf of El Mexico, Okay, so we are, I want you to take cautionary measures about that and listen to your news channel and your weather channels and so forth so that you can keep abreast on what's happening in and around the Gulf Coast as it relates to tropical storm Bertha this morning. We guess we're going to have some traffic, and right now, I don't know whether the weather is fair, but we're going to have a little bit rainy stuff out there. What's the traffic like this morning, Sugar?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. Are you ready for the traffic report? Here we go.
Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everyone. If you're heading out right now, things are looking mostly smooth across Pensacola. But we do have a couple of trouble spots to watch out for to keep your morning stress-free. Starting right here in Pensacola, if you're taking I-10 westbound toward Mobile, expect a bit of a squeeze. We're seeing some brake lights near the way station just past Pine Forest Road, due to a minor fender bender on the right shoulder. It's not blocking traffic, but it will add about 10 minutes to your drive, so give yourself a little extra time. Down on 9 Mile Road, right near our WBQP studios, traffic is actually moving beautifully this morning. Just keep an eye out for some utility crews setting up near University Parkway. All lanes are open for now, but you'll want to tap the brakes and watch your speed through that work zone. For those of you commuting across the Pensacola Bay Bridge into Gulf Breeze, I have great news. It is a clear, wide-open drive so far. No backups or delays being reported, so you are good to cruise. And taking a quick look over in Fort Walton Beach, if you're hitting the Chappie James Bridge, traffic is flowing right at the speed limit. Just be mindful of a stalled vehicle on the shoulder right before the Gulf Breezes. Emergency crews are on the scene, but the rubbernecking is causing a slight crawl. I'll be keeping a close eye on the roads all morning long to keep you moving. I'm Lola with your WBQP Wednesday traffic. Stay safe out there, Gulf Coast. Back over to you at the desk.
Back over to you, Vernon. Have a nice day.
All right, Sugar, we're going to try to have a nice day out there today because you know the weather is a factor this morning, okay? The weather is a factor this morning. And actually, I hadn't got a chance to go out to actually see what the real weather is this morning. But I don't hear any rain out there. We've been having a lot of wind, okay? Been having a lot of wind out there. So if you got anything, your lawn chairs and all that kind of stuff, we don't know whether, I believe this system is a slow moving system, y'all. And so we might not get the brunt of it. I think it is saying that we are going to get the tail end of it, but I think this is hurt if this tropical storm moves into the area. It's going to hit most of Louisiana and Texas. Look like to me the way it looked like. We're gonna get some effects of it. I can tell you that right now. In fact, we've been having some effects of it, and I want to see what the other news outlet says about it. But since I'm not a weather station, so I want y'all to make sure that you stay tuned for Tropical Storm Bertha, because it's sitting out there. It's only moving like about 5 or 6 miles an hour out there, y'all, and it's expected to do some real gusty winds, probably up to 35, 40 miles an hour. So that can do some damage. It's going to cause a lot of storm surges out there if you live out near the water. And in fact, if it drops some weather into our area, you have to make sure that you are get some sandbags, and it might cause a little bit of flooding in our area. But anyway, since I tell you about that wind and stuff like that, y'all make sure you, number one, stay off that damn beach, okay? It can wait. You can wait. If it start raining, be careful about these roads that's flooded, okay? Because the roads will flood. And because of this wind, you need to bring all of your outside furniture and decorations and stuff like that. I had a neighbor, I had one of these portable car tents up there, and that wind tore it to smithereens on yesterday. So also continue to listen to the Weather Channel and the National News Service, and also Escambia County Management probably will you not listen to. I had a guy on last week and about the weather, so we might try to, depending on how severe that storm. We don't look like we might have a major impact in Pensacola, but it better be safe than sorry. Okay, all I can tell you, better be safe than sorry. All right, y'all want to check those lotto tickets, because you know what the day is, right?
It's Winning Wednesday. Take a minute to check your Florida lottery tickets. You could be today's big winner.
Vernon, it's Wednesday. You better check your lotto tickets. Hope you win.
Vernon, Sugar, it's Wednesday. Don't forget to check those lotto tickets from last night. I know you are lucky because you won me. And the winner is me.
Well, you come on, baby. Since I can't win the lottery, I'd love to win you. All right, y'all. Bigger than the lottery, we got. I was reporting. I was listening to the news the other day. A lady down in between Orlando and Miami. I can't think of the name of the city. Scratched off like $1.5 million. So, Sugar, she might be the one. Okay, she might be the one. I probably need to hook her or look her up. Okay, I don't know, but y'all keep scratching. Maybe you can scratch off to $1 million, y'all. Y'all want to get motivated this morning? Let's see what our motivational man talking about this morning. Is he gonna motivate us any kind of way? Tell me. Here, come on now.
The clock ticking.
All right.
And time waits for no man. Life goes by, and it goes by quick. Don't waste those years. Don't waste them. Live them. I want you to be terrified of sitting on the sidelines and doing nothing. Waking up in 6 days or 6 weeks or 6 years or 60 years and being no closer to your goal. You've made no progress. That is the nightmare. That is what you really need to be afraid of, being stagnant. So, get up and go. That idea isn't going to execute itself. That book isn't going to write itself. Those weights out in the gym, they aren't going to move themselves. You have to do it, and you have to do it now. Don't wait anymore. Don't think anymore. Don't plan anymore. Don't contemplate anymore. Don't make any more excuses or justifications. Don't rationalize anything else. No. Take the risk. Take the gamble. Take the first step. Take action now. No complacency. No backing off. No slack whatsoever.
No more dreaming. Dreaming is over. I need specifics. What are you doing on Monday? What are you doing on Tuesday? What are you doing on Wednesday? You need to be very specific. It's time to put your pieces together of your puzzle. You need to be in a big damn hurry. Time is running out on you. There's 86,400 seconds in a day. The separator between me and you and people that win and lose is what we do with those seconds. And you're too slow. You're too casual. You think too much. You need to get in a hurry because there's an end to your life and it's coming sooner than you think. It goes by in a flicker and at some point it's going to be over.
And we want to make a conscious, deliberate, determined effort to start living life with a sense of urgency and using what we've got, using ourselves up, sharing what we brought into the universe to share. Because if we don't, nobody else will. Stop wasting valuable time. If we begin to live our lives as if each day were our last, our lives will take on a whole new meaning.
When you die, when life is over for you, I don't want you to have one idea left in you. I don't want one dream left in you. When you die, I want you to go for broke. Every CD that you were supposed to do, every book you were supposed to write, I want you to get everything out your system.
We get one shot at this gig right here, life. So do not wait. Go forward. No more waiting for the perfect moment, and no more indecision, and no more lies. Take the action. Get out of bed. Get your feet on the ground. Step forward. Give every day everything you've got. Every ounce of energy, every bead of sweat, every drop of blood until your last breath. And don't let another day slip by.
All right, y'all. Motivate yourselves is all I can tell you. You need to motivate. Don't sit there and let your life go by. Motivate yourself. All right, y'all. I tell you what we're gonna do when we come back. We're gonna take a commercial break, but when we come back, we're gonna get into some of the news you can use, some headline news that you can use on this Wednesday morning. And then we're going to be talking to Mr. Ellison Bennett around the 7:30 time frame, so he can get some of the community news in. And then we're going to be talking to Miss Jill Daggs over in Okaloosa County, and Mr. Charles Thornton. And then our special guest is going to be Mr. Trey McMullen and Mr. Earl Ford at about 8:30. Trey is coming on right around 8, and Earl is coming right around about the 8:30 time frame. And I'll be on all morning, y'all. Yes, I will. I tell everybody we're on this morning. All right, I'm going to go to a commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to get into some of the news headlines.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon.
Stay tuned.
Yeah.
Don't go nowhere. Get your coffee.
Yeah.
Get your coffee.
Get up now. Come on now. Get up. Mornings with Vernon.
Coffee, y'all.
Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
Navigating heart care can be challenging. Baptist makes it better with the latest treatments and innovations and the area's largest, most experienced heart team ready to create a care plan just for you. All when you need us most. Let Baptist make it better. Baptist Healthcare.
For 75 years, Baptist has brought innovative care to our community. Through our Andrews Institute, we continue the legacy by providing advanced total joint care, restoring mobility, strength, and quality of life. Baptist Healthcare, here for you then, now, and always.
Why wait? With Penn Air's fast approvals and low rates, getting a car loan is easier than ever. Penn Air Credit Union. Join us.
Keep growing.
Remember where you came from. It's the foundation of who you are.
Show up for others.
That's been our approach at Penn Air for 90 years. Penn Air Credit Union, 90 years strong.
Choosing the right school is one of the most important decisions you'll make for your child. At Jacqueline Harris Preparatory Academy, we provide a safe, supportive environment where students grow academically and personally. Through strong core instruction and unique programs, students build confidence, creativity, and real-world skills. Enroll your child today and join us as Jacqueline Harris Preparatory Academy celebrates 25 years of serving the Pensacola community.
Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home has been in business since 1913. Hi, I'm David Hawkins, the owner of Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, saying we are a full-service funeral home. We offer pre-need funeral planning. We have a newly remodeled chapel and conference facility. Stop by and see us today. We have 9 vehicles, all waiting to service you. At Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, we appreciate your stopping by. On behalf of all of our family here at Joe Morrison Son Funeral Home, thank you so much for allowing our family to serve you.
Hello, I'm Colonel Eric W. Shorter, and I'm running for mayor. As a true son of Pensacola and a product of multiple generations of public servants in this city, I know what it means to serve. The spirit of servitude led me to serve our country, the world, and now I'm here to serve Pensacola. My goals are simple. I want to create vertical economic initiatives, which translates to good-paying jobs. Affordability. I want to address the housing affordability crisis. Neighborhood revitalization. Something as simple as the addition of a sidewalk, a street light, or a park renovation goes a long ways with improving Pensacola residents' quality of life. Education reformation. I want to ensure that our children and young adults are prepared to meet today's demanding job market. Citywide opportunity is possible, and I'm not guessing. I'm positive. Vote for me, the positive choice.
WBQP salutes the spirit of America, celebrating 250 years of freedom. Happy birthday, USA!
Hello, I'm David Williams, District 3 Representative, seeking re-election to the Escambia County School Board. 4 years ago, I said, together we can make a difference. Today, I'm proud to say, together we have made a difference, thanks to your trust. And because of you, we do not have any failing schools. Our schools are safer. We've closed the achievement gap, and our students are college and career ready. I'm asking for your support again to re-elect me so that we continue the work that we started 4 years ago. Please visit my website at davidwilliams3.com to learn more about my initiatives I have accomplished and the ones I will pursue over the next 4 years. Early voting is August 8th through the 15th, and the primary is August 18th. Your vote is essential to keeping our community moving forward. Thank you.
As a service to our community, we pause to remember those who have recently passed. Our deepest condolences. Our thoughts and prayers are with each family during this time of loss. Thank you for allowing WBQP to serve our community.
This is Prayer Perspectives by J.O. Gatson on your WBQP.
This is J.O. Gatson on this Wednesday. As a matter of fact, this is our wonderful Wednesday, where we come before the Lord and sacred words of prayer, just bless him for his glory. Let us pray. Father God in heaven, we come on this wonderful Wednesday, dear God, to bless you and to worship you and to pray over our families and to pray over ourselves and to pray over those that we're connected to. And so, Father, we take it all in stride because you're God. You know us better than we know ourselves, dear God. So we're claiming this wonderful Wednesday to your glory and honor for the edification of your people. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
I'm Dr. Isaac Williams, and I'm running for School Board District 3. Our community is asking for change, and I agree. District 3 deserves change. District 3 deserves a representative who will listen, communicate, and stay connected to the community. Our students need every opportunity to succeed. Our teachers need support, and our community and parents need a voice. I've spent my time as a servant leader in the Marine Corps, as a pastor, as a community activist, and I am prepared now to serve District 3 on day one. And I will be honored to earn your support and your vote on August 18th. God bless you. God keep you.
Hi, Vernon. Here's your WBQP weekly weather forecast. It's another hot and humid week ahead across the Gulf Coast, with daily opportunities for showers and thunderstorms. On Tuesday, skies remain mostly cloudy, with another 60% chance of rain. Afternoon highs reach 89 degrees with overnight lows around 77. Wednesday brings a 50% chance of scattered thunderstorms, along with a high near 90 degrees and a low of 78. Thursday stays warm and cloudy with a 40% chance of scattered showers. Highs climb to 91 degrees while overnight temperatures hold near 78. And we wrap up the week on Friday with another 40% chance of scattered showers. Expect a high of 91 degrees and a low of 77. Overall, we're looking at hot afternoons, warm nights, and daily chances for pop-up showers and thunderstorms. This is Cheryl Mulrain, and that's your weekly weather forecast on WBQP TV.
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
WBQP TV and radio, your information station.
Good morning to my Facebook friends, Lois Bless Pruitt, Janice Womack Ewing, Alan Young, Jeannie Costin, and everybody else this morning. Let's get to work.
Hey bro, this is Alan Young. That Mornings with Vernon show is out of sight. I can't wait to tune you in every morning.
I am Lois Bless Pruitt. I am so blessed to have coffee with Vernon every morning during the Mornings with Vernon show. Join us. Love you, Vernon. Vernon, this is Janice Womack Ewing. No, I'm not related to J.R. Ewing, but I love you and the Mornings with Vernon show. Keep it up, and the show too. This is Jeannie. I love Morning with Vernon. Vernon, you really is the one. Jeannie. Read my lips, honey. Vernon is the one. Now go run and tell that.
I love Morning with Vernon. Vernon, you really is the one. You really is the one. This is Jenny. I love Mornings with Vernon. Vernon, you are the one.
Hey gang, let us all give Vernon a shout out.
We love Mornings with Vernon. You better tune in to see what you're missing.
Hey!
WBQP TV and WBQP Radio are the voice of the Black community in Pensacola.
It's time for mornings with Vernon. Yeah.
Good morning, Cutie Vernon.
Get up
it
now.
is great
Come
to
on
be with
now.
you today.
Get up.
What's happening
For
in the
mornings
news?
with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now. Turn it up now. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it out.
All right, y'all, it's time for the news.
Good morning, Cutie Vernon. It is
Hey,
great
sugar.
to be with you today. What's happening in the news in Pensacola today?
Well, baby, it's a lot happening in the news.
Live from the WBQP News Desk, this is your headline news summary. Now here is Vernon Watson with his version of today's headlines.
All right, y'all. You know what the headline is today. Big Bertha. Big Bertha May. Big Bertha May is out there, y'all. Big Bertha is we preparing for Big Bertha this morning and all week, y'all. You need to stay tuned to the Weather Channel since I'm not a real weather channel. So you want to stay safe. You might want to tune in everything. But if you look at this map, if you will, and it is kind of a slow moving event this morning, but Channel 3, that's why I get all of my news and weather stuff from Channel 3. So you stay tuned to Channel 3 and also the Weather Channel. If you got cable, get the Weather Channel called this storm was what they call a depression. I guess it goes from a cloud to a depression to a tropical storm to a hurricane. So it hadn't reached hurricane speed yet, but it has been, once they get to be a tropical storm, and it gets a name. So I don't know what the first one of the season was called, but this one is called Bertha. So it has to be the second one. And so it's packing winds about 60 miles an hour. And I think once it get about 75 miles an hour, it's turned from that into a hurricane. But right now, it's the pressure is about 99 millibars. So, and it's moving, they say, about 6 miles an hour. All I'm telling you is keep your eyes on it. Be careful when you're out there this moment, because for us in Pensacola, from looking at this map here, it may not hit us directly, but we're feeling the effects of it, and particularly the winds out there, y'all. Particularly the winds out there. It is happening. So you got to be you keep that in mind. All right. Well, let's move on to some other news around America, and sometimes I want to bring you some news that impact all of us that sometimes you don't hear about when in the regular traditional news, but it's happening in Black America. So this is some of the Black America news. This lady, Anna Presley, she's one of our distinguished congressmen, and they found a body in her husband's a house that owned by her husband. They say this was a rental property that they found somebody there. In fact, the rental property that the house was a $1.5 million house that they found this individual in. And so that's a developing story. That's up in Boston. So they're investigating where this 18-year-old woman was found dead in that house. So, but the MAGA world will come back and try to blame it on Sister Girl here. Okay. All right. Let's go on to this story here, y'all. It's another story happening in Black America, Africa America. Okay. Now, listen at this story, y'all. Listen at this story. This man is supposed to be a youth pastor, okay? And he was supposed to take the kids to McDonald's or somewhere, driving a Audi Audi 7 or something like that, okay? And he was driving 104 miles an hour when he lost control of the car. He was in a 40-mile-per-hour zone before he slammed into a pole. And the worst part about this story is that he had 3 kids, young kids in the car. Okay, 3 young kids in the car at that speed. And one of them wasn't wearing a seatbelt. And probably was a young child that got killed that wasn't wearing a seatbelt, which happened to be his own 8-year-old daughter. Okay. Y'all, let this be a lesson. And then they gave him an alcohol rest level. He showed up 0.9. 0.9. You know, 0.8 in Florida is a illegally drunk. This man, he showed that breathalyzer was a 0.9. Okay. Now, death of his own child. And what his excuse was, he said he didn't think he was driving that fast. 104 miles. They had witnesses that at that time. Y'all help our people, okay? Jesus Christ, that's sad to say. And kids involved in. All right, some more news in Africa, America, which happened to be right here in Pensacola and over in Gulf Breeze. This happened here after the air show. Some 19-year-old guy from the base, from Eglin Air Force Base. They never said he was military. He might have been a dependent because they would have mentioned had he been a military. But they had a high-speed chase on the beach, y'all, on the beach and in Gulf Breeze after the air show. Now, this genius here, and it wasn't even this truck. I had some video. I had video of that, and I'm gonna start showing y'all some of these videos as well. But I did have a video of that. I didn't get a chance to put it on. So, but anyway, he was chasing. The cops was chasing him off the beach. He ran into the city of Gulf Breeze. And like I said, you can outrun, maybe the cop, probably not can't outrun it, but you can't outrun Motorola. You can't outrun a helicopter. You can't outrun them drone. You can't outrun them eyewitnesses. You can't outrun. But anyhow, he ended up crashing his truck. Okay, 19 years old, and not only was the Escambia County Sheriff Department involved, they got the city of Gulf Breeze cops involved, they got the Florida High Patrol involved. Probably ICE was involved when they saw his color. So anyhow, let me move on. All right. This lady here, another happening in Black America, y'all. It's kind of a cute story, y'all. She kind of opened up about what it really happened in her apartment. She was pole dancing, y'all. She had a pole in her apartment, and she was pole dancing and flooded the whole damn apartment when she hit that sprinkler system with the pole. She was on the pole and she hit. And this, y'all see all this stuff, and it's probably made social media as well. But it's a video out there as well showing her how she swung around and flooded the whole apartment. And they went wild with her on social media. Now she says that she is a professional pole dancer. Okay. And so she was practicing her craft that day. An accident did happen. But she had to move out of the apartment, find somewhere else because she flooded the apartment. I thought that was a kind of a cute story, y'all. Y'all might want to hear. We always get all these stupid stories that we have to listen to, but I thought I'd throw some in for us. All right, here's another story that happened in Africa, America, that you might not have heard about. This guy he was an ESPN announcer. He's doing, so I'm not much into sports, so y'all might know his name and face, stuff like that. I don't know. But they fired him while he was on the air. Okay. He got fired. His name is Ron Clark. Live during an NFL broadcast, he found out that he didn't have a job anymore. They fired him on the air. Y'all gonna have to read. Right? I didn't get into all the sports stuff. You're gonna have to read for yourselves what he did to warrant the firing. He might have just been working while black. I don't know. But y'all tell me. Y'all tell me about that as well. Okay. I know that you heard of an airplane. You seen this? See, I got video of this, y'all. See that airplane? Would you want to be on that flight? Huh? Would you want to be on that flight? I wouldn't want to be on that flight, okay? But an airplane, he was trying to land, y'all. He was trying to land, okay? And his tail, instead of him landing perfectly, he hit the what you call it, the tail was dragging, tail was dragging the thing. So I don't know. Let's see here. All right, let's move on to another story here before we get really. Now, this is another story that you're gonna have to read about here. Okay. This probably gonna make, if it hadn't made national news, it should be making national news. Well, his mother faces a felony charge. I reported this back here about a week or two ago, where a child shot a child. Okay, like a 10-year-old child. I can't remember how old. Shot a 2-year-old child to death. It was a cousin. She was visiting. She was visiting a relative where her son got in the car, somebody's son got in the car, and they were found a gun. The child found a gun in the car. And they just pulled the trigger and hit the 2-year-old child. Okay, hit the 2-year-old child, and so now they're gonna charge the mother with felony with that over this accidental shooting. Okay, over this accidental shooting. So stay tuned to see what happened in that arena. All right, here's another story. y'all. You want to keep your eyes out on, because just up in DeKalb County, up in Georgia, where the sheriff lady was found guilty of creating sexual harassment environment for female jailers. Y'all really need that story. We got a not this story, but this channel 2 up there was reporting this story where they filed her sexual harassment lawsuit against this black sheriff up there, where she was allowing inmates and so forth to have sex and stuff with the folks, and it's a grim story. So it's a weird story, but I'm surprised that she's still sheriff, y'all. But anyway, just read about this story. I don't have all of the details in it, but just read about it. All right, let's move on to back home to some stories here locally, if you will. Okay, Navarre. We reported this a couple of days ago where they had to pull a lady out of a fire over in Navarre. Well, the update on this story that this lady eventually can succumb to that incident. So after she was rescued, they took her to the hospital, and she did not make it. So she died from the injuries that she sustained from that fire there. All right, it's the woman here. You probably heard this on TV. You probably heard this news. She's a manager up in J. She was arrested in sex offender and violating sex offender. But you know, as I went to bed last night and I listened at the update of this story, is that they hadn't fired her. Guess what they did to her so far? They have suspended her with pay. Okay, so until they say until they find out the outcome of it. But she's arrested for some sex offense with some minors. Okay. All right, let's move on. The Escambia County Sheriff Office is looking for these men here for the armed robbery at a convenience store. If you've seen, or if you can identify, or if you know of these individuals, they're asking you to call Crime Stoppers or directly call the Sheriff Office at 850-436-9620. But if you want to remain anonymous and there's probably a cash reward out, go ahead and call Crime Stoppers if you got some incident. These robberies took place back on the 17th and the 19th of July. And the suspect, they was armed, but they fled the scene of this incident here. So if you want to make a little money for people doing something stupid, call Crime Stoppers, okay? All right, let's go to the University of West Florida. The archaeologists found they uncovered some Native American artifacts out there. If you into all of that stuff, follow that story in the Pensacola News Journal or either WEAR TV, so forth. So it give you the background on that story. I don't have the detail. The only thing I have on that is the headlines on that story. But the little bit that I do know about it, they thinking these artifacts dates back like 1,000 years, and they know, based on looking at on preliminary research, they saying that it's a rare find and that it is having to do with Native American pottery in some way. So so that's how they find out when they start sifting through all of that good stuff. So keep your eyes out on that story. It's that kind of story that float your boat. Okay. All right. over in Navarre, y'all, if you've been going over there and parking along the sand and all that other kind of stuff and illegally parking over there, well, you might be up for a rude awakening because they got a new ordinance over there. They're trying to crack down on those folks that's illegally parking over there on the sand. So don't say I didn't tell you if you go over there and get caught. All right. Another story, local story here. They have what we call a Stop the Violence youth football camp going on, and it's honoring Ladarius Clarity in Tuscaloosa. You know, Ladarius was killed several years ago in a crazy accident there on Fairfield in Hollywood. You know, and I noticed too that they had a kind of a shrine, a memorial for those for that area, but when I passed through there recently, I don't see it anymore. I don't know whether they removed that shrine or not. Why did they remove that shrine or not? Somebody told me that they was trying to eliminate all that off the roadways, but we'll see what happens. But anyway, this was to stop the gun violence youth boot camp for kids. Okay, to give kids something to do, keep them off the street, and help them, who knows, develop some skills into their lives. Okay. All right, let's move on to another story. Escambia County is holding some public logic and accuracy tests ahead of the elections, y'all. So this is an important election. Y'all gotta keep paying attention to this, okay? What we're trying to do is trying to build integrity and confidence in the election, where this administration trying to sow seeds of doubt in it. So get on that, keep top of that story, if you will. Okay. All right, let's move on to another story here before I have to have Mr. Ellison Bennett to come on. You'll be calling me in just a few minutes here, and make sure and giving his community report. But anyway, in the light of Big Bertha, I call her Big Bertha, and how come we always think Bertha's always big? I don't know, but I used to have a girlfriend named Bertha. She wasn't big at all. She was fine and pretty good. But anyhow, well, her name didn't fit her face. I heard the name when I saw somebody say. Somebody told me, one friend of mine said, "I got a friend that's coming in that was from New Orleans, and I want you to meet her. Her name is Bertha." And I told her, "I ain't interested in meeting no Bertha. No, sir." But anyhow, I was wrong about Bertha. My eyes, you know how to go in the cartoon. And I saw. But anyhow, they got you stay tuned to the news, because they are going to have some road closures and stuff that's on the way for that. Okay, so you just want to keep you mind for that. This man here faces 10 years if convicted for fentanyl charges. Okay, and so you need to keep your eyes out on that story as well. That's the fentanyl charges are federal charges, and he could be sentenced up to 10 years and fined because fentanyl, y'all, is a killer. Okay, and so and in the hands of a black man, because a lot of white people die from fentanyl. So, buddy, you in trouble. I hate to tell you. Okay. All right, let's move on. Again, about Big Bertha, they closed some of the like Fort Pickens and Oprah Beach and all these other kind of Johnson Beach. They closing in for preliminary precautions. Okay, better be sorry than safe than sorry. All right, on another issue here, this made national news yesterday. I think it's up in New Jersey, where they found that the governor says that somebody made a mistake and added 66 non-citizens to the registered rolls, and about 400 of those 6,600 actually voted in the election, but they found out that those 400 that voted, it really didn't make a difference. This is something that give Trump enough ammunition to jump on. Now, what they say what had happened is, we said what had happened is that the reason it was added, right now, even like in the state of Florida, when you get your driver's license, you can automatically pre-register to register to vote. And that's what happened here. They had a software glitch. Even when the people checked no, okay, the system still added them. So it had a glitch. That is why I think that the problem with the voting system, that's why I think the reason that Trump was elected, because the system was hacked. When you vote for Biden, you automatically voting for Trump or something like that. Okay, so Trump knows something we don't know. That's why he don't want this folks to vote by mail, because the vote by mail is the only manual system that we have that actually get counted. Okay, so but anyway, that was a glitch in the system that when those folks checked that there was none, because non-citizens not eligible to vote. When they check non-citizens, that means you can't be registered. But when they checked it, the system registered them anyway. So therefore, the system can be hacked. Trust me. Okay, ask Trump. Well, you see the results of it. That's my opinion. In my conspiracy theory, I think the system worked for Trump. Okay, and I think he knows it, and I think he knows that he don't want to work against him. All right, moving on to another story here, y'all. This morning, the Treasury Department have flagged $99 million in payments that they said were fraudulently sent to dead people. Well, that's kind of a misnomer. They weren't actually sent to dead people. They were sent to live people in the name of dead people. I'm talking about some crooks. It's hard to stay ahead of a crook. You know that? I'm telling you, these crooks are some of the smartest people in the world. That's why they're crooks. Okay? Some of the smartest folks in the world. And so, therefore, they are going to get these names and numbers and social security numbers and of dead folks and living folks too. There is such thing that called identity theft. You know that. Yeah, identity theft is real. Okay, but at any rate, they have flagged a lot of fraud in the system there. Okay, now let's go with this idiot here. Your particularly Secretary of War. And you wondered, I tell you, when that one thing about Trump, okay? Now, what he tries to do is the old saying is to avoid suspicion by doing the obvious. And he'll come out and tell you what he's going to do. And, just like you tell somebody, I'm going to slap you. You don't shut up. Like my mom used to tell me, you don't shut up, I'm going to slap you in the next week. Well, you don't believe it because that sounds so preposterous. How you going to slap me in the next week, mama? Well, when you slapped me, I was unconscious until the next week. So I woke up. Maybe she can slap me in the next week. I don't know. But anyway, when they talk about this crazy stuff, when we change the department, what they can't legally do, they just nicknamed it Department of Defense to Department of War. Think about that just for a minute. Department of War. Now you see what the results of it is, right? We in the war. They knew what they was doing. They knew exactly what they was doing. But anyway, this war is costing us a lot of money, y'all. And they want to know, Congress now trying to depend how much money, and how do they not know? I don't know. Congress supposed to have oversight over this, but they don't know how much money that was spent for this war. And so the Department of Defense had to come up with a cost. Now, I want you to stay with me on this one, okay? Now, if this fool-faced person here called himself the Secretary of War, by the name of Pete Hegseth. It's a crying shame that we have to have somebody like these folks to lead and represent this country. Okay, it certainly is a crying shame. Now, in considering this administration, because everything that they tell you is a lie. Okay, you can't believe anything they say. If they tell you one thing, believe it's something. Believe it's something else that works. Now, if they're admitting to by their own admission, that means they're saying that they have spent $37.5 billion on this war, and now they want more money. Now, if they admit spending $37.5 billion so far, don't you know it's probably 3 or 4 times more if they admit to $37 billion? Now, let me ask you this question, okay? Let me ask you this question, if you will. The Pentagon budget, y'all hear me, listen at me now. It's almost $1 trillion. $1 trillion, think about it. The budget itself, almost $1 trillion, okay? Well, your congressman approved this. And now almost $1 trillion for the budget for the Department of Defense, okay? $1 trillion, okay? $1 trillion. Think about that for a minute. $1 trillion. Hang on, Ellison. They spent $1 trillion, and now they're going back and asking for more money. Okay. Now here's another thing that I think I want you to think about. Now they rip the wall back up again, and so I think with all of these sophisticated missiles and all this kind of stuff, I think Iran is doing the Muhammad Ali on them. They're going and doing what I call the rope-a-dope. Okay, they're gonna let the United States spend out all these millions and $billion missiles trying to blow up a building, where Iran is just waiting till they shoot themselves out, and then they send these cheap drones that they pay only thousands of dollars for, and they can produce many of them. And so now they having more effect with these cheap drones than we're having with these million and $1 billion. Y'all help me out here. Help me out. Now they want more money. And now we have service members killed. And in fact, a little 19-year-old brown woman was killed the other day in this war. And another 25-year-old black man was killed. Was in the news yesterday. I was going to try to get those photos of you today, but I did not have time to get them today and everything. So, and the last thing I want to talk before I go to Mr. Community here is that they're talking about Congress is seeing a historic retirement. Well, hell, it's about time every damn thing up there over 90. All of them need to retire. We ought to have an age limit, y'all, on how people can serve. And then this very last thing, he's talking about John Fetterman. Okay, he's a Democrat. Now he wants to be a Republican. Our political system is broke and it needs to be fixed. How in the hell are we going to elect a damn Democrat and then they're going to switch over to the Republican Party and still represent us? That don't sound right to me. I don't understand why and how they can do that. If they can do that, the system is completely broken. Okay, and well, let's instead of me getting mad about it, let's get smart about it. All right, black folks and everybody else, since we can't win Democrat, let's start running as Republican. And then once we get in office, let's switch over to be a damn Democrat then. Okay, you want to use the system, use it against them. All right, y'all, I got to get to my main man, Mr. Community here, over here, Mr. Ellison Bennett. Ellison, are you there, Ellison? All right, stand by, Ellison. I'm gonna try to get you on the system here. A minute here. I'm trying to. I've been on my bandwagon and trying to set you up in this in the system here for a minute, so that I can just give me 1 second, Ellison, so I can pair you here. And you can't hear me. Can you can't hear me? Can you, Ellison? Ellison, can you? Yeah, you can hear me. I'm here. Stand by. Yeah, can you hear me? Yes. Okay. All right, well, go ahead, Ellison, with your report.
Yeah, good morning, Vernon. And first of all, I want to say condolences to the family of John Gerald. I was told that he passed away on yesterday. Any man's death is tragic.
Gerald passed away yesterday?
Yeah, that's what I was told.
I'm sorry to hear that. I had not heard that.
I received 2 telephone calls early yesterday morning, and just want to send condolences out to his family. We are in some terrible times where we have to hold elected officials accountable, Republicans or Democrats, especially the Democrats who choose not to take a stand against this racist president, the racist governor, and they look at things all about money. Now, you were saying earlier, Pete Hegseth should not be the Secretary of Defense. The disrespect he has for men and women in uniform, especially black women, not wanting to promote black women, removing black men, dishonoring General Chapman James and General Colin Powell. If we do not, as a nation, address this racist administration that Trump have elevated since he's been in the White House. He and his family are making billions with a B, and we still don't have health care for people in America, especially our seniors who need it. We must turn to God and pray that relief comes soon, because where this country is headed, they want more billions for a war, and that was never approved by Congress. I have always said that war will not be over until Iran say so. Trump have lied repeatedly, and people still buy into his lies. He's a con man. He's a racist. He is no good for America. Now this thing going on with the plane that he was given by Saudi Arabia is just one thing after another. The reflection pool, everybody knows for years, nothing wrong with the pool. He decided he want to paint it for whatever reason, and now you're having problem with algae and everything. Everything this guy have done since he's been in the White House have been a disaster. That birthday party he wanted to have was a disaster. The great American celebration he wanted to have was a disaster. He is envious that President Obama opened his presidential library to the public on Juneteenth, and it was the greatest concert of mainliner entertainers. If you look at getting Stevie Wonder, Jennifer Hudson, Bruce Springsteen, and the list goes on and on and on and on. On one stage all at the same time, it was a great concert, great success. Speaking about concerts, I want to encourage citizens of Pensacola. Kayla Richardson is going to perform at the Singer Theater on the 25th. I think it starts around 7. Doors open at 6. Let's come out and support her in her career now as a worldwide entertainer, if you will. We know she done very well on American Idol. We're asking the public just support her. Vern, we're getting the outer bands of the storm. The wind blowing is gusting up sometimes to about 20 miles an hour, light rain. It reminds me when we was getting hurricanes in years past, how the wind gusts come up. It's not raining real hard right now, but you're getting the outer bands of this storm. Want to ask everybody to drive with caution and check on if you know some senior citizen might need help with lights or whatever at this time. Reach out to your neighbors. And that's what we got to get back into, loving one another just a little bit more. I'm going to keep stressing, and I know Jill will follow up and with the people over in Opelousas. Ladies and gentlemen, young men, young ladies, I know you like going to the club, entertaining. I would like to see 100% of the young people going to clubs vote in this midterm. That is how important it is. We must stand up against this racist wannabe Trump. He want to be like Putin so bad, it is unbelievable. We got to get people in mounting numbers to the polls. This is how critical this midterm election is. We want to thank you and your station, Vern, for being an airwave, getting messages out to the public, because if you were not there, it's a lot of things go on in Pensacola all the time people would not know about. I understand Mount Canaan Outreach Ministry is having something at Woodland Heights, start at noon to 3, I think, on the 25th. They are going to be ministering to people as well as food and clothing. We ask people to please go out and participate. And let's look to one another. We can't expect the federal government to do nothing to get us out of this situation that Trump have got us in. He cares less about health care for American people. His ego is all about money. And he don't even think about the death of the servicemen that he has caused. He has their blood on his hands. He has the blood of everybody that ISIS have murdered on his hands. I pray that justice be swift for the family of the young man that went out on a boating trip to an island off the coast of Mississippi and didn't return, and the people had his cell phone on the boat. Listen, if you're going to go on a trip anywhere to a secluded island and your friends leave you there, they're not truly your friends. If you went there together, you should return together. Want to pray for comfort for that family as well. Vernon, I would never give up hope that we can live better as a people. Want to say out to the young people again, just buried PJ last Saturday. The other young man that was involved in this 4th of July shooting I understand his funeral will be the weekend of, I guess, the 28th or whatever of this month. Uh, it is time we bridge that gap of communicating with our young people. We can disagree all day, but we should not get to the point where we will take someone's life for whatever reason. We must understand that all life is precious. So that is my hope. I will never give up hoping. Thank you, Vern, and I always look forward to being on here on Wednesday.
All righty. Thank you, Ellison. We appreciate you, okay?
Have a great day.
All righty. All right, y'all. That was Mr. Ellison Bennett, y'all. That was Ellison Bennett giving his report. It is 7:45, and we usually have my girl coming on this morning. Y'all knew who I'm talking about, Mrs. Jill Daggs, this morning. And I want to say good morning to Jill. Good morning, Jill. How are you, sugar?
Good morning. I am very blessed.
All right. Let's get you on. Let me get you on properly like we usually do, okay?
Okay.
There we go.
Welcome to Inside Okaloosa with Jill Daggs. Tune in on WBQP TV every Wednesday at 7:45 a.m.
All right, Jill, I don't have to update Inside Okaloosa because you only report for Okaloosa. You also report for what's happening in Santa Rosa County as well, too, huh?
I try to do my best to try to give everybody all the information. And I don't know if you joined us. Well, first of all, let's do our weather. We know that we have this storm out there. We know it's raining. And so I would just tell everybody to be vigilant and be prepared. This is not some, true hurricane quite yet or anything like that. But I did see 2 really significant accidents yesterday just because the rain is like coming and going so fast. I believe everybody was okay, but one of them was quite tragic. But I believe everybody was okay. So just be mindful, bring your umbrella. It literally is sunny one moment, and then the very next moment you're getting plummeted with rain. So we will see how the rest of the days flow, both in Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, and even in Escambia County. And I promised last week, because Vernon pushed a couple little buttons and said, why is it we can't tell people who to vote for?
Yeah, really? I still stand by that, but go ahead.
That's okay. So we're going to stand by it. And I do have a voter's guide for both Santa Rosa and Okaloosa County. But let's talk about what is about to happen. So we have a primary on August 18th. And a primary is the opportunity for you to choose who is going to be in the general election. And in some races, it is the only opportunity you have to choose who's going to win. So there are some races that whoever wins in the primary, that's it. And there are other races where you have 5 Democrats or 5 Republicans or whoever, and whoever wins that then goes against the other party. Some people sit this one out. And they think, oh, I only vote, in the general election and the presidential election. Well, here's why that is a huge mistake. And that is because you get to choose the person that's going to go against the other side and or for what's best for your community. And this is the opportunity that you have. You, your friends, your family get to get together and say, hey, this is what's best for us. And then go vote. And hopefully that's the person that wins so that you can get behind them. So we're going to talk about both sides, what happens, what doesn't happen. But I thought it would be important to kind of go over some of the positions that are open and then who we suggest that you vote for, as long as Vernon is okay with that. And we already know Vernon's okay with that. He's the one who said, I don't understand why you're not doing it in the first place.
Let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I said that, Jill. Because I find myself when in the voting booth sometimes, I'm not familiar with all the candidates. Whoa, who should I vote for? I don't know this. But I did have a call. I don't think before or since then. One that had their mail-in ballot and said, look, can you help me? I don't understand. I'm not familiar with all these names, and I want to vote the right way. Now going on about who should I want to give you all these names. Who you think we are going to serve our best interests? And I said, well, that's a good idea because a lot of folks don't know. They don't keep up with it like you and I do, Jill. But go ahead.
Okay. So we're going to start with the actual top of the ballot, which is for senator. So for senator, and I right now today can only go over the Democratic candidates because that's what I have in front of me. So the Democratic candidates are Angie Nixon. You probably remember Nixon. She fought in Tallahassee. She was one on the floor that called out after the war. She did the sit-in. She wears pink. She has the bullhorn. She's always been fighting for the people. And then you have Alex Vindman, and many people know him from work that he did. He was the whistleblower. And then your decision is which one of those would best represent the people. And so we're going with Angie Nixon, and here's why. A couple of reasons, but here's the biggest truth. We were at a conference this weekend for the Democratic Black Caucus, which went really well. It was all day on Friday. That is a statewide organization that represents 1.8 million Black people, and they have 27 chapters across the state of Florida. And Alexander Vindman did not show up. He did not donate. He did not call. He didn't respond to the 7 emails that he received, but Angie did. And then fast forward Saturday and Sunday, the Florida Democratic Party put on their Leadership Blue, which is their opportunity to bring us all together. We get training, and that is where they raise their money to put us through the primary and the general election. And he was there, but there were people who wanted to talk to him, and they have him videoed walking away in the parking lot, walking away inside the building, where he just did not want to speak about the issues that people were asking. And as an elected official, especially if you want to be our senatorial candidate, you have to be able to answer the hard questions. So for those reasons, and because Angie's boots on the ground, she will also be here, not in a high-priced, hey, pay $200 so you can hear me speak, but just, hey, come to breakfast at Cracker Barrel in Crestview on the 28th, I think it is. Let me make sure I get my dates right now. Send Vernon the flyer. That morning, she will be at Cracker Barrel 10 to 12. And that's a wonderful opportunity to come get great breakfast and meet the candidate, so that we're not just telling you something, you get the opportunity to meet her. And then her team is then going to Escambia County, and they're going to spend all day. I believe they have a lunch schedule, they have phone banking schedule, they have canvassing schedule, and then they have an evening event, all so that all of Escambia can get to know this candidate. And then on her way back, she's stopping in Santa Rosa and Gulf Breeze at Pedro's the next morning, and then she's going to Walton County and then Jackson County. So she's doing the hard work. This is a candidate that I will tell you that when she wins our nomination, she's going to fight for us just like she's been doing. And she's not going to shy away from the hard questions. She gets it. She has children of her own. She understands the struggle of rent, of healthcare, of keeping our children safe, of gas prices, food prices. We need somebody that's in there that actually gets it and is not scared to speak up.
Jill,
go ahead.
Yeah, speaking of Angie, I'm reading an email. We're going to have her on one day next week, okay? And we're trying to schedule what day she's going to be on here on Morning with Vernon. So you might want to join us.
Great. And she'll tell it like it is. You can tell her that Jill said that we need to listen, because she is the right person. And it is Tuesday, July 28th. So the 28th, she'll be in Crestview and then Escambia County all day. And then on the next day, Wednesday, the 29th, she will be in Santa Rosa, making her way back to Tallahassee. So that's a good thing. Then the next candidate, which you would think would be the top of the ticket, but the way the levels go, is the governor. And that we have a whole bunch of candidates. So I want to name
34
all.
of them, to be precise. 34 candidates that running. I don't know how many on the Democratic side, but I've been interviewing some of these underdog candidates.
Yeah,
but go ahead.
there's 7. There's 7 on the Democratic side. So we have Evelyn Castillo-Bach, Thomas Elroy Fernandez, Dana Marie Foster, David Jolly, Dottie Joseph, and Stephen Norman. And I believe you had Stephen on last week.
Yeah. I had most of them on except for the big boys. Well, I had Jolly on some time ago. He was on as well. But none of them spending money for advertising. But go ahead. That's neither here nor there. But
okay, but they're not, and so we'll get them too. But probably, I would say they will do that. We can push harder once the primary is over. And although there are some really good candidates, I do not want to tell you that there are not. And we were all hoping and praying for Jerry Demings, and he got out of the race due to his battle with cancer. The person that we're suggesting is David Jolly. He's been here. He's talked to you. We know that he will probably win the race, but I don't want to downplay that. Because Dana Marie Foster is amazing. She really is amazing. But to get her across through the primary is probably going to be very, very difficult. And then for Chief Financial Officer, if you joined any of us last week, he actually came on. There are 2 candidates, Earl Ford and Annette Tadeo. We are going with Earl Ford. He's very qualified and wants to fight for us. He understands, like we asked him some really hard questions to see, do you really understand what CFO is? Because oftentimes people get confused what jobs the CFO does and what jobs the Commissioner of Agriculture does. And even what the senator can do or the governor can do.
I supposed to be interviewing Earl at 8:30 this morning. But also I'm going to be I'm also going to standing by when Charles come on. We're going to be also talking to Trey McMullen when Charles come on in a few minutes, Jill. But go ahead with your report.
Well, and I see Trey's here. I don't know you, Trey.
Yeah, I see Trey is on right now, but we're waiting on Charles to come on.
Wait on Charles
and
for
wait,
that.
and wait till you finish. Wait until you finish your report.
Okay. So then for Commissioner of Agriculture, we're going with Don Pritchard, and then we have 2 school board races in Okaloosa. Linda Ivanchek is the first one that we're going to go with. The second one, we're still doing research. So we want to make sure that we don't just come up with a name, that there's reasons why we're suggesting these people. And so I will give you the school board. I might even send this over. I have a sample ballot for both Santa Rosa and Okaloosa. And I will send them over to Vernon. And so maybe Vernon can share it periodically. And then in Santa Rosa, you have a couple of more races. You have Board of County Commissioner District 4, and they want Ray Eddington, Eddington. You have School Board Member District 1. They want Linda Sanborn, Sanborn. You have School Board Member District 3. They want Kyle Connolly, Connolly. And another School Board District 5, and they want Marie Lachlan, Locklin. And so what I will do, I will get, I don't think you can see the sample ballot, but we will, let me see, there you go. We will get a sample ballot out to Vernon so he can share it and to others. And you can take a sheet of paper into the ballot box with you, but because we know everybody has done vote by mail, and Vernon, I don't know if you know, remember how we were so far behind in vote by mail and we never thought we would catch up? We have now surpassed the Republicans in vote by mail. So expect some legislation for why it needs to be kicked out even faster now.
Wait a minute, Jill. You haven't me. I think I'm a boy, Charles. You haven't me confused. You mean to tell me Republicans vote by mail?
believe it or not, Charles and them don't want to tell you their own person in the White House votes by mail. But anyway,
All right, go ahead.
but they do know, and so in fairness, if you're looking at okay, how are we getting so many of the other party out? In the Democratic Party, vote by mail is key. It is the plan A that we have moved from the plan B. So it used to be just plan B. Plan B is, plan A is go vote, whether you go early, you go later, and then just vote by mail if you think you might be sick, leave town, whatever. But now we've changed that whole narrative, as I'm sure my dear friend Charles's team has as well. And it should really be your plan A, because guess what? You get your ballot in your hand. So even if you don't use it, put it in the mail, you now know who to vote for. You have all of the candidates that you're eligible to vote for. Remember, it's a primary, so Democrats can vote for Democrats and Republicans can vote for Republicans. And those that have other party affiliation vote for whatever's on their ballot. But you can do the research. Kind of just like I said, we have a school board candidate. I don't know which one to choose, but now that I know they're on my ballot, I have the opportunity to go to their website, to do some conversations, to look up and see what issues. I can even call the candidate if I want to. So vote by mail is more than just, okay, yes, you get an opportunity, but you do get an opportunity to stay at home, fill out your ballot, do your research, sign it, close it up, put it in the mail. Or you can drop it off at one of the drop boxes, or you can take it to the supervisor of election. You cannot do vote by mail and vote in person, but you can get a vote by mail and vote in person. So let me say that again, so this is not confusing, because we don't want the rhetoric that Democrats are voting more than once. Anyway.
Well, Jill, you y'all convinced me that I'm a vote by person, but and since I've been listening to you guys, I did order me a mail-in ballot just as my backup, because you never know what's gonna happen. So and let me tell you what the reason I think I'm gonna switch over to voting by mail instead of the ballot, because we know that the system can be manipulated. I reported this morning even in New Jersey, where they had 600 people that was inadvertently put on due to a computer glitch on the things. So if the system can be manipulated, it could be manipulated by the system. But I think mail-in voting is probably a little more harder, because a lot of it is manually done. I got to get back to Charles, because it's Charles coming on at 8:00, and you're more than welcome to stick around, Jill, because we're going to be talking to Trey McMullen this morning. And I think Trey is a Charles. Trey is a Republican, right?
Trey is a Republican. He's running for state representative, District 2, I believe. They represent, and to replace Alex Andrade. He's running to replace Alex Andrade. He has a competitor on the Republican side. So, but I know Trey personally. A bunch of pictures out there with him, and so he's Doctor. Every now and then I call him
Dr. McMullen. Well, we want to welcome him on this morning. Good morning, Trey. How you doing, my man?
I'm doing very well, sir. Pleasure to be here. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Mr. Thorpe, for the kind words. Nice to meet you, Miss Dogs.
All right, y'all. Trey, you're a good friend of yours. He said you need to get Trey on. I said, well, I try to send correspondents out to everybody that's in the race. I'm welcoming in and everybody to come on this morning. So we like, particularly when we got African Americans involved, since this is our community. We want to make sure that everybody knows everybody and everything. And Charles happened to be my co-host on a Wednesday morning, and he so happened to be Republican too, Trey. And for transparency, I'm a Democrat, but Jill's called me a fence walker, because I sometimes vote Republicans, because my thing is that I say that regardless of party, we need to vote for people that are going to serve our best interests. And so that's what I do. I vote for them that going to serve our best interest, regardless whether they're Democrat or Republicans. So, but I'm a diehard Democrat. Okay. So, Charles, I'm gonna let you take it over and let your good Dr. Mike Mullen, why don't you introduce yourself to the public and tell us why you're running for Florida representative.
Absolutely. So a pleasure to be here. I didn't even know Mr. Thorin was involved, so it's just a pleasure to see him this morning.
Yeah, you just got lucky because it just happened to be his day. I give Republicans 1 day a week.
Okay, sounds good.
Hey, Vernon.
Yeah.
Hey, Vernon, watch out when they start saying Mr. Thornton.
Yeah, for sure.
I start looking around.
When they start saying Mr. Thornton,
I start looking around.
I had to put the disclaimer out there. I did not know he was going to be here. I don't think he knew I was going to be here, but it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Yeah, Cliff recommended you. Cliff called me and said, "Vernon, you need to talk to Trey." I said, "Yeah, I'd love to." Cliff, he might be joining us in a few minutes as well. He says he's running a little late, so Cliff called, and y'all. Cliff is on every Monday with me. On Mondays when the mayor is not on. But his name is Cliff Collins. Jill, are you familiar? Have you met Cliff Collins yet? Jill gone. I guess Jill is gone. Her gone. But anyway, Charles, Trey, go ahead and finish your introduction, if you will.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm from a small place outside of Cleveland, Ohio, youngest child of 6, preacher's kid. Joined the Army 2006, started off as a military policeman. That took me over to Germany, deployed to Iraq for 15 months out of there, came back, moved around to a couple different duty stations, Fort Benning, jumped out of planes, joined a SWAT team, became a breacher, won a competition that allowed me to have some influence in on my next duty station, which turned out to be Hawaii. Once I got to Hawaii, they were in need of a squad leader. That took me out to Afghanistan for another 12-month deployment. Upon return, I was starting to look around at some where my peers and my leaders were landing once they got out. And I didn't necessarily like the career fields that they were getting into. I wanted a little bit more. So I reclassed, meaning I changed my job to counterintelligence. That took me to Fort Huachuca, Arizona, reclassed and became a federally badged and credentialed special agent. That brought me to the great state of Florida. So I've been in Florida since 2013. Previously, I lived up in Crestview, serving up there for about 12 years. I've been up in Pensacola now for about a year. I've had so many different interactions with District 2. Actually, when I first got here, I'll never forget, I caught a blood clot. And after an airborne operation, I went to the hospital and the nurse walks in and says, "Man, you're about to die." And I said, "Tell me how." And he said, "You got a pulmonary embolism and a DVT." I said, "Okay, explain to me, what is that?" He said, "You got a blood clot in your left leg and a blood clot in your lungs." And I said, "Okay." I said, "Do we have the level of care here that we need to take care of it?" He said, "No." I said, "And it looks like we need to schedule a life flight." They did a good job on that, got me to Pensacola Sacred Hearts here in District 2. And that was my first interaction with District 2. They saved my life. So they put an IVC filter in my carotid. So if you ever hear about me dying of a stroke, they killed me because I can't have one. So moving forward, I ended up getting medically retired out of the Army due to ulcerative colitis, burn pit exposure in Iraq and Afghanistan. Didn't stop me. I believe true God-fearing man, and the cards that he gives me, I know that I'm supposed to play them all. So I chased that, and I joined the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation. I now sit on the national board for them and the state boards for Florida and Alabama. I've been able to start a small business. It's called Sciotus, stands for See You on the Other Side. This is a company that I dedicated to all my brothers and sisters that I'd lost in the global fight against terrorism. We've had some great successes, but I got to tell you about my failures first, which this has all been a stepping stone and prepared me for this day to run in this race. I had got a contract for 100 special operation guys to go over to Puerto Rico during a hurricane and to provide executive protection over there. This was the contract. I was probably 28. This is the contract. I was very egotistical. I knew it. I knew I was going to be the guy. I told y'all I'm throwing away the phone. everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm already preparing for it. And spent all my little change up, all my savings, putting everything into this. I had the right people in place. Everything was good. I took the whole staff over there, flew them on my dime, and we had a good time, went around across the whole island, learned the island. You know, we do a security assessment prior to getting anywhere. Once we arrived, it was great. I learned a lot of different things while I was there. Come home, and about 2 weeks before the contract gets ready to kick off, they call me and say, "Hey, Mr. McMullen, we want to let you know that that contract's been canceled." That was an eye-opening moment for me. I did what I think any man or woman, when they get a phone call like that, would do. I went back outside and sat on the top of my picnic table and looked at the fence for about an hour. And I was just puzzled. That was the ego death.
Hey, Cliff. Hey, Cliff. What you say the name of that office you was running for? What's that office you running for? Tell us a little bit about that.
State House. Are you talking to me, sir, Cliff?
Yes, sir. Not Cliff. I don't know. I mean Trey. Trey. Yeah. Tell us a little bit about the Vernon. I want to say something about Trey. Trey, if hard work can get you in office, he's running against an individual, and I have to be nonpartisan in here. That's well funded, that has a deep pocket money, but there and everybody on the ground that knows Trey know if hard work is going to get you in, Trey is going to win, because I have never seen no one work harder than Trey running for this position. Vernon, he's all over the map. He's a good man. He's tried. He's true, and he's running against a well-funded individual. And I want to say to the Republicans candidate, because the Democrats at this particular time will not have an opportunity to vote for Trey. But if you're a Republican, please take a good look at Dr. McMullen and listen to what he has to say. That the plans that he has for State Representative District 2. And those are the kind of things that we want him to let us know. What is it about District 2 that you like, and what is it that you would like to improve upon, Trey? Let him know, where are we in District 2? I live in District 1, so I want Michelle Salzman is currently my representative. Absolutely. But I think you're out in the ward. You got to tell us where your district is first. What your district covers and the plans you have for that.
So District 2 covers basically south of I-10. You're talking Pensacola, Pensacola Beach, Navarre, Gulf Breeze. It's dual county, so you got Navarre and Gulf Breeze in there as well. Back to Escambia, Perdido. It's a rather large district. It covers quite a bit of landmass here. I'm excited to serve. How did I get here? And really, as I was finishing that story, what happened was I got on my program manager called me and said, "Hey, Trey, we're going to let these people know via email that contract has been canceled." Then I told him no. I said I asked all 100 of them, so I called all 100 of them the next day. And I thought that was very important. I didn't think about it at that point, but I knew that it was important to do because that's what I would have wanted. Moving forward, my interactions with District 2 during Hurricane Michael, that was my next win that I had. We protected everything from Pensacola to Siesta Key. I was able to employ 130 teammates. I don't have employees. My mantra is never above you, never below you, always beside you. So that was my first real interaction with the hurricane here in Florida. And I could tell you it was eye-opening. After that, I had an opportunity to protect all the GOPs in the state of Florida. After that, I had another interaction with District 2 where I protected the mobile COVID testing sites. I believe that we need to make sure we're hiring our people here, giving them the education, the tools, so they can develop the knowledge, skills, and abilities that they need to go out and be progressive in their lives. How did I get here? April 17th, my daughter called me. She goes to school down in Tallahassee and said, "Dad, there's an active shooter on campus." That shook me to my core. A couple of weeks later, my son, he had a bomb threat at his school, 8 years old. And I said, God, if you're trying to get my attention, you got it. I already come up to Pensacola. I've been coming up here for the last 7 years, every 6-7 weeks for my doctor visits. And it was just time to make a move. So we moved up here. I moved up here last year. The family stayed back. My wife works at the Destin Fort Walton Convention Center and owns a cleaning company and services most of that portion out there. And my son is still in school. So I went on ahead and moved forward. Typical deployment for us. I've got about 6 years cumulatively in Afghanistan and Iraq. So sacrifice is where I come from. Doing things for my country is what I'm willing to do. And I got a saying, I won't stop till my veins run dry. This country has given me so many opportunities to open a small business, attain all my degrees, associates, bachelor's, master's, and a doctoral degree. I'm the only doctorate of global security in the state of Florida. My plan is very simple. One, children are my first platform. If you go back and look at all the school shootings, all the way back to Columbine, we don't remember any of those kids' names. So that lets me know it doesn't even last in the news media cycle as long as it used to. So that lets me know it's become a social norm. Roads are good, infrastructures are good, all that stuff is important, and I'll get to that. But I can promise you, if your child is not in that bed when you go look in that room, none of that will matter. And if you think it does, go talk to a parent that lost one. They feel deeply saddened, and it carries them that they didn't get a chance to have their child bury them, and it was the other way around. So I'm not willing to let that be the stand on my generation. School shooters they're picking up, and it's ridiculous. Just death among the youth is it's gone too far. So my plan, I'm getting ready to release my 120-day plan that I'm going to get done once I get elected. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to audit every school that we have in this district. I want to see the active shooter plans. I want to bring the right minds to the table and make sure that the ideas and the protocols that are in place actually work. I want to make sure that we're rehearsing those drills. I want to make sure that we're living up to the things that we need to do. I want to support our current Attorney General, Upmeyer, and his push towards AI digital bill to protect our children on this internet. There's so many different things coming at them that we did not experience. One thing that our parents got to do was they got to raise us how their parents raised them. We don't get that opportunity. I'm 8 years old. I don't get to raise my children how my parents raised me. It's a completely different world now. From social media to the amount of cyber attacks, roadblocks, all the different things that are coming at our children that we just didn't experience prior. So you have to be open-minded to what we're having. There was a stabbing not too long ago up in Walton County. Why are we having a stabbing in 2026? That a simple metal detector could have stopped that. Oh, I don't want it to be a prison. Does your kid feel like he's going in a prison when they go through TSA checkpoint going on a vacation? No, that is what you think. But if you ask your child, I guarantee they probably have a friend or two that's either witnessed a school shooting or they have a friend that's been a school shooting. In our generation, we don't have that. So this is not something that I don't foresee going away. Mental health is a huge problem, and we need to work towards that. And also, I'm supporting higher teacher pay. We pay amongst the lowest in the state. I mean, in the United States. I don't know how we expect people to be afford to live in this economy, and the people that are supposed to be educating our children, and we're paying them lowball. It cannot happen. We need to put more emphasis, more focus on paying our teachers, so that way they feel better appreciated when they're going in and they're dealing with our kids.
I'm going to say, now, Trey, you're a unique person like myself. In the primary, you're a Republican. So,
yes, sir.
So you're going to, we got to treat this as if we're talking to Republicans. Why should a Republican for you instead of the other guy that's running against you? If I was in your district, and I'm not in it, I'm in District 1, but I spent a lot of time with you because of positions and things like that. What is it that differentiates you from your opponent? Because we do have Republicans that listen. Now, one the primary and move into the general election, then we're gonna show tell everybody what we can do as a whole for the community. But you got to squeeze past this Republican primary opponent, because those are the folks who are going to be voting for you. Speak to the Republicans for a minute. Why are you a Republican, and what you can do? Yeah,
absolutely. So the differentiators between me and my opponent, and he's just that. He's not an enemy. I don't like the rhetoric between Republican and Democrats. I don't like the rhetoric between Republicans. I call it the green Ghostbuster slime, that it's inciting this anger amongst the American people. And then they get off that stage and go have drinks and have dinner. It's wrong. We're Americans. We need to act like it. This is one team, one fight. We're fighting against people that are non-American, that are trying to attack our way of life here. So what makes me different is he served 24 years in the Navy, which we appreciate him for. But while he was serving, I was leading one of the largest federal contracts in Florida history, employing over 130 teammates. During Hurricane Michael, I was from Pensacola to Siesta Key. When the elections were being targeted, I protected every GOP in the state of Florida. When there was a pandemic across the United States, well, across the world, I protected mobile COVID testing sites to ensure families could go out and get tested. Those are some of the three major things that could, if happened, in the United States, and more specifically in Northwest Florida, that I've already been a part of. I say it quite often, but if you're a business owner, aren't you tired of people that have never wrote their names on the front of the check regulating you? If you've only wrote your name on the back of the check, how do you have the knowledge, skills, and ability to regulate those small business owners? That's how we get more red tape. That's how we get more bureaucracy. And we just don't need that. We have enough. We need to pull out what we have, and we need to see how can we see it, and first identify if it's working. And if it's working, then we can go from there. But if it's not working, we can make amendments, we can make changes. But you can't, this term is 2 years. And I quite frequently say that I'm not a bought candidate. The only people that I owe is the people of this district. I've had a privilege on not taking any PAC money. I've had the privilege to say no to that because I believe that my ground game, knocking on over 1,500 to 1,700 doors within campaigning, not just recently, but for the last almost year and a half. I've shown the people day in and day out. This is a 2-year term. So I've already almost done a 2-year term, and you've seen what I'm going to do day in and day out. My opponent has not shown up. He announced 7 months prior to me. I shouldn't even have had a chance. He's so heavily funded, I shouldn't have had a chance. He has some military organizations behind him that I shouldn't even have had a chance. So that lets me know that this is not something where his heart is. I don't know if he's doing it for the people, for himself, or for the people that are funding his campaign. But I can tell you that I'm here for the people, and the people have seen that. I've shown up early and often. I've had an honor to speak many different places. I've started homelessness initiatives, brought together the homeless nonprofit organizations, created a 9-step milestone that I'm actually today getting ready to hand over to Fearless Community and let them lead forward. Listen, I don't need to be the face of these things. I'm just the guy that comes through and helps you put it together. I consider myself the spark plug, and I consider District 2 the big shiny machine.
Well, I understand. Was there a candidate forum debate last night at McGuire's? Did you have one at McGuire's?
No, sir. The last one we had was at WRFL Warrington Revitalization. We did that one, and then we also had one, as you know, in Pensacola over at the library.
Like I said, without saying too much, I just know when you say 1,600, I'm thinking you knocked on thousands of doors, because every time I would be out there, I would see you out there working. If hard work,
not the team.
If hard work would get you in office, Trey, then because I know about the groundswell that surrounds you, and I know of the movement. You do have a movement behind you, and nothing against John. I know, I have to be, of
course,
because of my position, I have to be nonpartisan.
Yeah, you
on
could be
here.
He's a good guy, but this is not training camp.
Yeah. Because I want folks to know I'm the vice chairman of the Escambia County Republican Party, and I get to talk to all the candidates. So I have an assessment. But as Charles Thornton, I too have some personal
You allow your
ability.
amendment rights.
Yeah, because I am a human being. But Trey is a hard worker. I know John, and I asked the Republicans out there to take a good look at Trey, look at his work ethics, look at his history, and then you can take a good look at John and make your choice. If I was in that district, I already know who I would be voting for. But here again, I'm not at privy to say right now. Trey, I'm a big fan of yours.
Likewise, sir.
On the personal side, you came to the meeting early on, and myself and Priscilla, we got a picture with you and all that type of stuff. And personally, we're friends. But I want to just say to the candidates out there, and hopefully, maybe after the primary in the general election, then we can speak to all of the voters. We'll be able to speak to the Democrats and as well as the Republicans. But right now, it's going to take Republicans candidates to get
Charles,
you in office.
Charles, I got another guest coming on at 8:30. We're going to be talking to this morning. He's a Democrat running for CFO, Mr. Earl, this morning. But anyway, I think Cliff Collins. Cliff, are you in there, Cliff? Before we go, are you having a question for Trey? If you will, Cliff, if you're still listening, if you're there.
Hey, Vernon. No, yeah. I don't. I listened to Trey's whole narrative, and Trey speaks for himself. I'm excited for him and this opportunity that he had to at least convey to all the constituents what he will bring to the table. I think that's so important, and he's doing it. And Charles made it clear he's a hardworking man. He's going door to door, a grassroots effort. He is doing what he needs to do. So I'm excited for him.
Yeah. Trey, I want you to know you got a friend here at WBQP. Anytime you need airtime and anything, just let us know. You can call me directly, or you can go through Charles or go through Cliff and so forth. So we can, if you need us, and we appreciate you for coming on. You don't have to leave. You can stay on if you want to. I know you're busy. I'm going to have to get to my next guest this morning. I believe it's going to be Mr. Earl Ford. And I think I got Earl on. Good morning, Earl. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty well. How are you?
I'm doing good. I got Jill is back on with us this morning. Oh. And Trey, again, man, thank you. We appreciate you for coming on. Charles, we're going to have to switch from Republican to Democrat right now, right? So
take a deep breath. It's coming. Take a deep breath.
Wait a minute. So what's that, Jill?
I said, take a deep breath. It's coming. It's okay.
Some of my best friends are Democrats. But
Charles, you know what I learned today? Cliff is probably listening. I didn't realize District 2 was a part of I thought we just only represented by District 1. But I'm glad that we we broke down the line there because we do reach over in Santa Rosa County and Okaloosa County and all the other kinds of stuff. So, but I'm glad to have a young man on. I think that he's bound to be great contender, if you will. But let's move on. Let's move on, Charles. I want to turn it over to Jill, since Jill knows Earl. Good morning, Earl, and welcome to WBQP and Morning with Vernon. I'm gonna let your good friend Jill. She was singing your praises this morning. She didn't even know you were going to be on this morning.
Oh no, it's absolutely great to see Jill again. She's a superstar, so any chance I get to see her and talk to her makes my day.
All right, Jill, over to you, sugar.
Okay, well, I sent Vernon 2 flyers I'm hoping he'll be able to share, but I just sent him to him because, again, I did not know you were going to be on. But I'm going to read the little bit of bio that is on your one flyer. And then the DBCF did a thank you to you. So I'm going to send you that as well. But anyway, as a former U.S. Army paratrooper, prosecutor, and watchdog with the IRS, where he specialized in auditing complex trusts, which often exceeded 500 million. Earl has the proven leadership, experience, and values to go to Tallahassee and get the state back on track. As a devoted father and husband, he's focused on delivering for the people of Florida by lowering costs, ensuring money goes to the communities that need it, and rooting out corruption. I have the honor and pleasure to introduce to some and welcome to the Panhandle, Earl Ford.
Thank you, thank you guys so much for having me on. It's like I said, it's great to be here.
Well,
So I
Earl,
think you could tell us a little bit
talk to us
about
about your campaign, if you will, and why should we let you handle our money?
Yeah, so so as Jill kind of highlighted, I've spent the last 15 years of my life dedicated to public service. Like she highlighted, I did serve in the United States Army, where I was an infantryman, was at an airborne unit. I think right now you see, even across the board, all political parties, you see a lot of veterans stepping up. And I think the first and foremost thing is they beat values into you for a reason, right? When things get hard or when people rely on you or need to rely on you, you have to dig deep and rely on those values. And ultimately, the Army also gave me an incredible opportunity. I was the first one in my family to not only go to college, but also go to law school. And again, in law school, like, I wanted to double down and commit to my community. And I really liked the idea of it. So, I interned with the Department of Veterans Affairs. I got through law school okay. And the first thing I want to do is, again, work for my community. And that's where I went to work at the state attorney's office. And then ultimately ended me, I didn't know it was going to be my dream job. And I know this sounds absolutely crazy, but I landed a job at the IRS, everyone's favorite three-letter agency. And,
No, I'm just kidding.
No, don't worry. Even when I was working for them and I got a letter from them, my heart would drop. So like, yeah, I was scared of them. But the IRS kind of gave me a unique skill set. I worked in one of two programs in government, well, in the IRS at least, that exclusively focused on some of the wealthiest people in the world. And these, not only did I have to use my legal background, but they gave me a strong financial background because you're auditing these complex trusts and estates, these gifting transactions. And generally speaking, we talk about the one percenters and stuff like that, but we were really auditing the 0.1 percenters, right? We were auditing, celebrities, sport teams owners, CEOs of Fortune 500, some, movers and shakers in just in the world we live in. And I love my job. I love what I was doing. I mean, I like, as I'm an IRS guy, so I like a good audit. I like getting in the numbers. And, I thought I was going to retire there, but ultimately, Doge came in. We saw a lot of the attacks on DEI. And, my colleagues and coworkers turned into my friends and mentors, and I just couldn't stand by. And I wanted to fight for them. So what I hope to deliver is, like, as I mentioned, my public service. And I think, again, you're seeing a lot of people step up with a public service background to really take on Tallahassee. We know corruption is kind of the root of the affordability crisis. A lot of the people, whether it's backroom deals, whether it's corporate donors, are kind of dictating like how expensive things are right now. And again, my time at the IRS, I was on the other side of the table against very powerful people who are not used to say, they're never told no, and we were the ones saying, no, you're going to pay. And it's about doing the right thing. So that's what I hope to deliver in Tallahassee. And it's about government should put people first. We need to uplift our communities, make sure everyone has a fair shot at the apple, and we need to make sure everyone can get on track.
Vernon, do you mind if I ask a question? Because I
No,
think
go ahead. Everybody's welcome to ask questions. That's no problem.
And this is just a general question because I think most people don't know. What does the CFO do?
Yeah, so the 30,000 foot view, because it kind of gets to the nitty gritty. But first and foremost, the CFO right now we're living in an insurance crisis, right? You hear every politician talk about the insurance crisis. CFO is the one person in the state that has direct oversight of the insurance industry. So if you want to take on the insurance companies and you want to, start driving down costs, the CFO is the one that takes the first step. So that's bucket number one. Bucket number two is they have oversight of all the state spending. So, the legislature dictates where money is supposed to go. The CFO ensures that money gets there efficiently, effectively, and, make sure other, all communities could, get state contracts and it's equally spread. It's not only going to donors, but also we've had scandal after scandal after scandal, the migrant scandal, the Hope scandal, the voucher scandal, alligator Alcatraz. Those are all issues because of state spending and money going in and out of the state coffers in which the CFO could have had oversight. But the other thing too is a lot of people don't realize it's a cabinet level position. And that means you're kind of an independent person in Tallahassee that almost serves as a check against the governor, right? I'm an independent watchdog and I know I'm here as a Democrat, but the CFO's position is really almost a nonpartisan issue. We're not talking about ideological stuff. So if you care about, what we do with the air, the water, the land, how we sell, how we develop it, those are issues in which the CFO would vote on. If you care about how we finance our infrastructure and, our universities, CFO would have a vote on that. If you care about clemency, restoration rights, again, CFO also plays an important role. So those are the three biggest buckets. And then the one thing that, because Florida's Florida, they always throw something weird in. The CFO also is the chief fire marshal. How that happened, I don't know, but that's something unique to it.
Okay, Charles, do you got any questions?
No, I just want to thank him for running. We're always glad to see folks putting their name in the hat. And since because of my party affiliation, I won't be able to vote for him during the primary. So I'm going to ask the Democrats, and I can't tell them what to do. So I'm going to ask them.
So are you committed to? So what I hear you saying is, so you in the general election, you're gonna be your man, right?
I did not say that, Vernon. Vernon, you're
look at Jill.
Look at Jill over there. You got turn that record off here. Now I'm just saying that I'm gonna ask the Democrats to take a good look at him. He came to the Vernon in the morning show. That should get him. That should get him a few votes right there, just by being on this particular show. If I could vote for you, Earl, I would take a good look at you. But,
thank you.
But you're running on the other side, so
no worries.
Good luck.
But the one thing I'll actually highlight is and on this campaign trail, right? We're already been to deep red counties. I was in Putnam County a week ago. I was in Collier County a few days ago. One of the things I'll highlight too is, as I mentioned, there's a Democrat on my, I'm a Democrat, but again, the office is really nonpartisan. What we're talking about at the end of the day is I'm not dealing with a lot of these ideological issues that people are dealing with in Congress or, at the Senate level. What I'm really dealing with is something I think everyone's on board with. Everyone likes accountability, right? You want somebody to audit the books. You want to make sure our money is going to where it needs to go. So that is not a nonpartisan issue. We're talking about enforcing the law. Again, nonpartisan. We're talking about transparency. And these are all, I've never heard a Democrat, Republican, I don't want more transparency. I want to give unprecedented transparency to the people of Florida to know where their money's going, why it's going in certain areas. But at the end of the day, make sure we're also consumer advocates, because right now, a lot of people, Republican and Democrat, just can't go head to head against, these massive companies. And I'm also want to emphasize, I'm not trying to go to war with the insurance companies. I'm trying to level the playing field, because when businesses could rely on, on competent regulation and, the state equally enforcing the law, businesses will want to invest because they know they can rely on, the law, the regulations, and it's not going to get shifted based on the donor base. So this is by leveling the law, making sure we're on the side of consumers, because consumers, quite frankly, can't afford lawyers. They can't take time off work. Things are very difficult right now, but it's also to, make sure that insurance companies can compete in a safe environment. And that, again, enforcement across the board, not only insurance companies, but also going after, fraudulent claims, contractors, adjuster. I mean,
Earl, tell me a little bit Tell me a little bit
Charles,
about your primary. Okay.
Before you get there, Charles, let me ask this question before I get my little 2 cents in, if you will. Earl, what are your priorities going to be if and when you're elected?
So I think right now, without a doubt, Florida, the biggest bill most people get is their home insurance bill. And that is my first and foremost priority. We talk a lot about property taxes right now. Florida is one of the few, I think might be the only state in which property insurance exceeds property taxes. Right now, property taxes is capped at 3% by Florida law. There's no cap on home insurance. And so first and foremost, we're like when you're on the campaign trail, Republican and Democrat, the biggest issue they're facing right now is home insurance. People are getting kicked off their insurance policies. And then the other thing we saw too is a lot of people just are not being made whole. So like during Hurricane Milton, I think 40% of people have never had their claims paid. And again, I just want to reemphasize, this is not a Democrat or Republic problem. It is a Florida problem. So again, addressing the insurance crisis, one of the things I would actually like to advocate for as well, and would be working alongside the governor and legislature, is also advocating for a victim fund, because we have a lot of people that, the insurance companies kind of were able to take advantage of. Say you have $100,000 worth of damage during the hurricane, but they drag out the process, and because things are difficult for you, again, we're living paycheck to paycheck, people would settle for less than what they're owed. So they settle for less than what they're owed, and they will never be made whole again. And this is, people have holes in the roof still, they're patching up, and it's about making things right. It's about putting people first. So my priority, first and foremost, is the insurance crisis. And then
a quick one on the Democratic side. How many candidates, your opponents, do you have on the Democratic side?
So I have one other opponent.
Okay, you have one. So that the choice is pretty easy on that side of the house. It's you or the other guy, person, female, maybe. I say guy, but it could be a female. So you have one other person that you're running against. Okay. That makes it a lot easier. So it's going to be either or. There won't be no vote splitting or anything like that.
Either or, and it's gonna be interesting next. We're under 30 days now, so I might look a little skinnier next time you see me.
What's the difference on between the two of you? Because it's not going to become real partisan until you get to the general election. Then you have to run against another person. But between you and the other person, what's the difference? There has to be a difference. You guys running against each other.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing I'll emphasize is my qualifications. I'm very, very proud of my qualifications. I think in this country, it is a meritocracy. We want people who've done hard things, or challenge themselves to kind of rise to the top. You're asking somebody to be a CFO, so you're asking someone to have direct oversight of the financial industry. As I mentioned, no one likes the IRS, but the IRS is very good at what they do under normal times. And through my career at the IRS, I've done complex fraud training, audit training, financial training. I think that is a skill set that is needed in Tallahassee. I've always, again, my 15 years of public service, I've always put people first. I think that speaks for itself. And the reality is, I think the biggest difference between me and my opponent is politicians have got us here. We need people who understand what government is. I mean, I've seen good government, I've seen bad government, but you need people from the workforce, and you need people that live in the reality of this world. I mean, for too long, we've allowed politicians who, just go to a gala on a Thursday night, and their social life is the politics, where average people like me and you, we're commuting, we're dropping our kids off at daycare, we're dealing with groceries, dealing with insurance prices. We live in the real world. And I think right now Florida's in a crisis. It's one of the least affordable states. And you need people.
That statement you just made, tell me that you're running as the outsider. Am I correct on that you're running as the outsider? And that person is sort of like the insider.
Yeah, and then I will say that I think running as the outsider, people in the party have embraced it. And because I think people just want a new generation of politicians. You don't want the same people running over and over, and you want people with a skill set, especially as I mentioned, I think my skill set kind of lines up more closely to this. And when you take the partisan aspects out of it, I think it aligns up even better. So I think that's hopefully when the voter does, a little bit of research against me and my opponent, that will kind of set me apart.
Hey, Cliff, you got a question? I want to get you in here if you will. Cliff.
No, actually, I do got a question for Charles. Charles, he said Florida's in a crisis. Then you asked him if he was an outsider. Did you ask him that because that's a conservative approach and you wanted to just understand his perspective on that?
No. When I say outsider, what I mean is there are always candidates that you call them establishment candidates.
Mm-hmm.
And those candidates gets all the money.
Yeah.
They get the donor money, they get this, and then they get all the money. Trey McMullen, he's running as an outsider as well.
He is.
And what the people do, sometimes the voters pick up on the outsider, and that have a tendency to kind of gain from the ground up. Whereas the ones that are getting the money, all the money and stuff, that they're elected mainly from the top down because they've already they getting all the money. And every now and then when the outsiders run, a candidate I backed the guy and good friend of mine when he initially ran, Mike Pollard. Mike ran as an outsider because there was a guy that had all the money and had the backing of all the establishment. But we done the work. We done all the work, knocked the doors, done this. So we ran as an outsider. So when you're running as the outsider, you really got to do the hard work. You got to do the heavy lifting, because when you're running as a candidate and as an insider, I would use that word right now, but there's another word I'm looking for. You can do advertisement. You have plenty of money. You can do this. You can do that. You have name recognition. So you have everything going.
I got you.
Yeah,
I'm going to jump in because this is things that Earl probably can't say, but I can. So Earl's been in the race for over a year. Earl decided to step in, and there was nobody running. So there was no establishment because nobody in the establishment wanted to jump in. Nobody was ready or willing. And then Earl picked up momentum and everybody started liking Earl. And then somebody from the establishment who has run in several other races and lost every time said, I'm going to throw my hat in. And so the money is, I'm not sure that the Democratic Party is giving any candidate money right now. However, that being said, this is going to be grassroots. This is who's in the race because they care, because they understand, because they have the qualifications to be in the race, or who's in the race because you are the establishment and, oh, there was no candidate in, so I'm just going to throw my hat in. And that's kind of where we are. And that's why he's picking up so much momentum, is because he decided when everybody else could have gotten in early, they didn't. They waited literally until right before the final date in June to decide, okay, I'm going to get in. So he has good momentum. He has the qualifications. It is basically, can we get the grassroots enough around him? But people know his name now, so it's almost even teal. You have the other candidate, which is a female.
We have that. We have that same issue on the Republican side because we, particularly in our governor's race, we have Byron Donalds. He's the establishment because he's been endorsed by the president. So we have the lieutenant governor. We have all these other folks, Rena, the former Speaker of the House. We have all these folks who's running, trying to get an edge. And what's probably going to happen is they're probably going to, so many of them running against the establishment candidate, which is Byron Donald. Byron probably going to split those votes. And he's probably more than likely he's going to get in. But there are two candidates that the Speaker of the House and the Lieutenant Governor who folks are are looking at. And there are a couple other, but those are the two who has a chance, an outside chance. You call it an outside chance, but very rare does, and sometimes the outsider get in. Now, if you're an outsider, once you get in, there's a possibility you're going to become an establishment candidate because you're going to attract. People's going to go. The establishment is going to shift gears on you once you get in most of the time.
What I like, I think, about this position more so than any other is the way he's presented it, the way it should be, which is it's a neutral position. It's supposed to be neutral. There's nothing in our politics. Don't look at me like that, Cliff.
No, I'm actually agreeing with you.
But this is the one neutral position that the person in this job is supposed to be qualified and they're supposed to be neutral. You have to be neutral. So unfortunately, as much as he's saying, hey, yes, I'm a Democrat, you feel you can, at least I can see in you. And we don't see it often in candidates where they can see that, you know what, it's not just like, I'm not just lying to you, oh, I'm going to represent all people, blah, blah, blah. But I have to because of the position I'm in. Like, you don't have a choice. It isn't whether you like the governor, the senator, or it doesn't matter who you like. Your job is to be neutral. And that's who we need in that position. The other ones we can fight about, Democrat, Republican, all day long. But the neutrality must be able to be upheld on both sides.
I'm going to say because I'm not a politician, but I'm well schooled in politics because, like I'm the vice chair of the party. So that means somewhere within the Republican Party, I have a leadership role. And politics is politics. And what you have to do, if you're a candidate, you have to appeal to your particular base because neutrality is not going to win you too many races, because say you're running for a position and you're running as a Republican or you're running as a Democrat. The Democrats, you already know that you're not going to get any Democratic votes in the primary. So your appeal has to be to that Republican base. And the same thing that with the Democrats, they know they're not going to get any Republican votes, so they have to appeal to that base. And that's where the establishment carried most of the weight is within the primary, because that the weight pushes you over to the general. And then once you can expand that base, but you got to get to the general. Now, once you can love everybody in the general, but in the primary, love and happiness is not really going to get you there. You just got to say what you have to say, speak the thing, and that's the way.
Earl, that's coming from Charles the Republican, okay? It's good advice, though. Some of it's good advice, but remember, Democrats think differently than Republicans. But I appreciate you trying to help our candidate. That means he believes in you. So let's do this and win so that we can then talk to him about why neutrality matters when you win, when you're in the in-between and have
he has to get Democrat votes because
he does. He already has a lot of them, and we keep doing the work. I'm gonna let him talk because he's the candidate, not me.
And I think right now too, but you'll see in the party, like I know you mentioned the establishment, but we're also at a turning point. We know Florida right now it's categorized as a red state. So we have to win MPAs and we have to win, a few Republicans. That being said, I think that the Democratic Party is at a critical point when we're trying to pick we're trying to, obviously, like as you mentioned, I have to appeal to primary voters.
I believe the MPAs, not to cut you off, but I think the MPA is not going to be able to vote until the general.
Yeah,
that's correct. Yeah.
You got to get Republican votes,
and
so you're not nonpartisan is not going to get you any. I mean, you got to get Democrat votes. Nonpartisan is not.
Yeah, I was going to say what?
No, but I think there is a decent amount of Democrats are now kind of saying like, hey, we need to elect people that could win statewide. So Democrats, it seems like more and more are willing to take their medicine and be like, you may not get the candidate on paper. There might be a candidate that you agree with 100% of the issues, but they're not going to win in the general. And the reality is there might be a candidate that you agree on 60% of the issue, but they have a real shot at the general. So you want to go with a candidate that's going to at least get 60% of the stuff done rather than the person that's not going to get any, like not even get elected. So I think within the party right now, we have a lot of people that are saying, hey, we need candidates that can win statewide. Because what I'm already finding is Florida, everyone thinks like Florida is Miami, or like that's the only people you appeal to. Florida is like 7 different countries in one, right? You need people that are willing to go into rural areas and can convey messages. The one thing I'll say is don't hold this against me, but I grew up in a very rural environment, right? I actually grew up out in Wyoming, so I know how to convey, like, and my background kind of tends a little more conservative when you're talking about Army, infantry, prosecutor, and then federal service, depending how you look at that. So I think a lot of Democrats look at my background and say, like, this guy is someone that can go into grant, like, we might pick him because he has the best chance of going in the general. Because I hopefully will, I mean, I am comfortable going into rural environments. I am comfortable going in a VFW or American Legion because I think my military background, but also rural communities and reaching out to, the people. I mean, I grew up in the least populous state. So, that's something I think I could utilize, and Democrats hopefully see that in me, and they're like, and again, when you kind of convey the CFO issue, and when I'm saying it's just the insurance, like, these 3 little buckets, and I think I have the background, and I actually, when I talk, I kind of emphasize, like, no, State Bill 7052 gives the CFO a lot more power to go after the insurance companies. I've been able to do that on the campaign trail, and I think Democrats see that. And I think that gives, that could propel me past the primary in the sense that I believe I have the ability to communicate to these rural voters and the MPAs. And
one of the main things you have youth on your side. You're a young person, and in politics, as an older person, I would say we're looking for young leaders. People always tell me, they say, Charles, why don't you sit down? Are you ready to sit down? I say every time I go to sit down, I turn around and look, and all the chairs are filled up. As soon as I can find somebody to get up and do something, then I can sit down. So everybody sit. I can't find a chair. So I got one on my front porch out there. That's the only one I can find when I come to the house. But what I'm saying is that we're looking for young leaders, youthful leaders, and you have that. You have Jill Daggs, you have that, but what you got to do, the way politics is, and I tell people this all the time, you never lose in politics. You never lose. You always win. Even if you lose, you win. I'm not saying you could win, but you got to run a primary campaign. You can't run a general election campaign. You got to run a primary campaign, and I think you're doing that. And as an outsider, you still got a couple of more weeks to work on that groundswell. But it's got to be done within the Democratic Party.
Yeah.
You can't show us no love because because I can't vote for you.
Yes.
Go to the people who can vote for you. Now you can show love in the general, and that's just the way politics is. It's I'm just speaking because I've been involved in politics since 1968, so I'm an old time politics guy, and that's a long time.
That's before I was born. Oh my God!
I just said the same thing under my breath.
Hey, Vernon.
I remember the Chicago thing. I remember this.
Hey, Vernon. Again, I just want to say thank you for doing what you do, Jill. I appreciate you supporting Earl, and man, Earl, thank you for throwing your name in the hat and saying, "Hey, I want to make a change." I think just listening to what Charles said about you, whether you're Democratic or Republican, and I think Jill echoed this. You have his support because he believes in you. Obviously, he just can't vote for you. Keep doing what you're doing. People are listening, whether they're Republican or Democrat. It's a message. It's a narrative that you're trying to get forward. I will say, though, to your earlier comment, but I didn't got audited by the IRS within the last 5 years. I still don't know why. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's just crazy.
So, if we go by what he said, that means you're making the big bucks. You just not telling us.
I might have to go. I might have to get back to work over there. Yeah.
Wow, but thank you. This is great to see, and obviously, listening to people like Charles, Jill. Every day I wake up, this is kind of part of my routine. I'm learning more about politics. I spent the last 38 years of my career in the military, and no kidding, all this stuff didn't matter to me. I didn't pay attention to it because I was more worried about being a warfighter, protecting America's interests. And now I walk into a place where, man, you got to protect the people's interests at the local level. And that's so different. And it's a lot to learn, but I'm embracing it. And Charles, I am an older guy in this sense, but I am learning a lot and still trying to dig in deep because I think it's important. And I think your analogy of, the seats, it matters because we do need the people behind us to come in and take those seats. And your youthfulness, Earl, that matters. That is so significant. We need you.
Yeah. Well, don't get me wrong. My back and knees hurt, so I wouldn't say too much youthfulness. But yeah, no, I appreciate it.
Yes. So, Vernon, what you got for us? Vernon probably on the phone. Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
Are
y'all able to hear me?
Tell Vernon to quit throwing rocks up under the house.
I know it, right?
Hey, Charles, you know what they say about throwing rocks under the house, right? When you throw a rock under the house, which dog hollers? When they got hit. When they got hit, okay?
He only gonna holler when you hit him.
Exactly. Earl, I know that that it's been a tough campaign for you. And what can people that listening out here can help you further your cause? What can they do?
Yeah, so if the easiest thing to do is go to our website. It's Earl for CFO. That's I weirdly enough spelled my name with the E at the end of it. So Earl EARLE for FOR CFO.com and sign up to volunteer if you are on social media. We're on Instagram, TikTok, Meta X. It's just Earl Ford FL, and like, share, and repost. And if you go to the website, you want to make a grassroots donation to make sure we get our name out there, or volunteer, or anything to help spread the word, we'd appreciate it.
Now, Earl, I know from a boy that was raised from Wyoming, so I'm assuming that ain't a lot of us out there in Wyoming. So I'm assuming you had to be that's where you were born, on the Air Force Base in Wyoming or something.
I know. So I kind of had a weird. My dad was in the Air Force, and he liked Wyoming for whatever reason. So he got stationed there actually twice, and then he's like, I want to move to Wyoming. I grew up in the biggest city in the entire state. That's 60,000 people. Where I went to school in Laramie, it's 28,000 people. And actually in between Cheyenne and Laramie was the smallest town in the United States. It's called Beaufort, Wyoming. It's, I think, a population of 1 right now.
Is that Big Sky? Is that Big Sky country?
No, well, it kind of, but that's more Montana. But
Okay.
I mean, you're still taught. I mean, when I took my wife to to Cheyenne for the first time, and it's just giant rolling hills. She lost cell phone signal, and she's like, "What the heck? I'm like, where are you taking me?" And just because it's a few hours between towns, and yeah. So I mean, I'm a rural guy at heart, even where I live right now. North Tampa is a little more rural, so it's one of those things, like especially getting up in North Florida, it's something I kind of cherish and takes me back. So.
Are you going to have a debate, either or something with the person you're running?
We're trying to. We're gonna try and get something going, but I don't know if that's on the table. We actually have a forum tonight in Miami. So a moderated forum for about 30 minutes. So, but nothing like we're trying to angle for like a bigger debate, but nothing major.
That's what I meant. It don't have to be a debate. It could be a forum.
Yeah.
You have forums where you and her get to both participate.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll have one for tonight. I don't know if any other are planned. Because the issue, I mean, Florida's a big state, so I think we're both all over the place. And so tonight is one of the few times I think we'll be kind of in the same area. So we'll definitely again try and take advantage of it and let my nerdiness shine, talk about numbers and boring stuff, and hopefully I'm going to say I don't know if that's going to resonate with the voter, but maybe.
Make sure you maximize your exposure on a statewide level to the extent that you can.
Yeah.
If not, then you're going to have to go from region to region. But you're going to have to do something to even if it's at the ground level. You kind of build something to get that name out there. Even at the and this is just Charles Thornton as a political guy, not in my position. But you want to get a groundswell. You're a young person, so make sure if you can mobilize that young base, energize young folks. Young people voting now, and you got to get your little niche, squeak your way in, and you can expand from there. Get your little grounds for somebody that's going to carry the message.
Okay. Well, thank you.
So I'm seeing a whole nother side of Charles. Charles, you're getting a little bit even more respect than you already had because girl likes you. This is good.
Hey, Jill. Charles just like Rodney Dangerfield and me.
Yeah.
We get no respect. Charles actually.
His toes like crept over the fence a little bit. I love it.
He actually is a good guy. Regardless, don't care what people say about him, but regardless, he's a Republican. He used to be a diehard Democrat. He's a turncoat.
I'm sure that you were spit out of the room that way,
but
that's
he still
the right
got
way.
the Democrat in it.
We all take turns and twists. It's okay. But I see your foot; it went over the fence just for a moment. And so, Earl, you did good.
We know in November Charles gonna be voting for Earl for CFO. We know that.
No, look
at least his heart will. I think the brainwashing of the other side won't let him, but his heart is with him.
Follow your heart.
Yes, and that's half the battle.
Earl, I'm here this morning as the co-host of the show, and I'm not representing my party this morning. We always say that, right, Vernon? I'm here as a little.
Charles is my co-host on Wednesday, so he's not here really as a politician. But I can't let that slide on him though. But he is he and you do a good job, Charles. I do. You try to walk the fence, and I really appreciate that. You do. Unlike me, I slip over on one side or the other every once in a while.
Only way you get me going if you start talking politics. You start beating up on them.
That ain't politics, it's politics, Charles.
But anyway, Earl, you're a young man, and remember, you got to get that groundswell.
Yeah,
that base,
right?
Because you got to get past the primary. But you got enough time to do it. And plus, you got Jill Dad. Make sure Jill is on the video with you. Make sure you take her.
Oh yeah, no, Jill's already been like an absolute superstar. I've been like beyond blessed just to have her in my corner. So I like that. And that's the one thing I'll highlight too is I think in this the current environment when you're just on your phone all day and you're like the world stinks, right? Like, and then you do this, you're on the campaign trail and you just find out, like I said, there's still so much good in the world. People are still good. And it's nice just to shake people's hand, look them in the eye. And again, this is not Democrat or Republican, right? This is just about being a human being, being empathetic, being compassionate. And I think there's just a yearning for that connection. And hopefully, like again, I know running as a politician, but and as really a normal guy, I hope that's something we could drive home is we're doing this for the average Floridian, right? We're just trying to make life better here so people don't have to move. You can enjoy living in paradise and you and your family could thrive. So that's what I want to drive home. So
Jill, what do you got some final thoughts here and stuff you want to get over while we're on?
I will say that this has been great. One of the best times that we've had together, to be honest, because we were able to, we spent more time. So my time is like 7:45 to 8. And Charles, I didn't know you were on after. I mean, I knew he was on. Sometimes we'll stay till 8:30, but it's 9:15. I'm already at a location, which I am going to go over one thing that has nothing to do with this, but very important. Walmart is going to be at the Crestview Resource Center today, 798 MLK Boulevard. They are building a new Crestview Walmart by the high school, and they have 140 positions open, start at $15 an hour. They have like 40 applications. So they are desperately in need of at least 100 people to walk through this door because they're about to open and they don't have the staffing. So that in itself is amazing. So we invite you again to 798 Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue in Crestview between 10:30 and 2. I forgot to say that during my time, so I apologize for being in your time. But for Charles, for Earl, for Cliff, for Vernon, really, it's good that we have this opportunity. It's good that people can see that Democrats and Republicans can get along, that there is a bigger picture of humanity and the things that we need to do to grow together, that this is about community. And yes, we have our own views. And I love Cliff's face because Cliff always gives you that look. I'm getting to know you, Cliff. Cliff is like, do I believe that? Do I agree with that? I'm not sure.
Looking
But I
good,
do believe that all of us believe that we're in this together. Community is about being here together. I'll say this. I'm always going to say it. I don't want to drink red water. I don't want to drink blue water. I don't want to drink purple water. I want clean water. And if we can deal with the issues and we can get to the bottom of the issues and solutions to the issues, then we're going to understand that it does take Democrats, Republicans, NPAs to work together to make things happen. And people have to go vote, that you have to get educated. And so we thank Vernon for giving us this opportunity to help our communities learn about the candidates.
Yeah, we got since we formatted on a half an hour basis here, so we got about 10 to 12 more minutes to go anyway. So I don't have to. But go ahead, Charles.
I just want to say that I know at the national level and sometimes at the local level, we go at it because we have to get things done. But maybe if we do certain things at the local level, the ground level, we can expand that and send people's up to some of those positions. Send some good Republicans up. Not my people would love for me to say that. Send some good Republicans up, and whether it's Republican or Democrat.
I didn't know there was any such thing was a good Republican, Charles.
There's
All
something
right.
born.
You know what they used to say about in the Old West, right?
Go ahead, I'm listening.
On the good Republican, on the good Republicans and the elected one.
Well.
Wait, can I interrupt for just a minute? Because I have to go. I have to set up for this.
You done scared Jill away, Vernon. Vernon, you done
scared.
Hey, Cliff, you see what Vernon done to Jill?
I see. He done scared her away. She like, I got to get out of here now.
No, the people are already here.
Run, Jill, run.
And then Vernon says we have 10 more minutes. I'm like, okay, I got to go. So thank you to everyone. Earl, continue to do what you're doing. Take some of Charles's advice. Remember that we've got to build the Democrat. You got to win first, and then we'll build some more relationships with people like Charles so they can see the benefit of having you. But let's get you through the primary first.
Absolutely.
To everyone else, great to see you. Cliff, the look, though, I'm going to take pictures of your face because you're like,
He looked like a businessman.
Hey, I got Earl on my screen right now. So
Oh, well, that's okay. You remember that face, remember that heart, remember that message. And when it's time, check the right box. But until then, thank you guys again. Best of luck, Earl. You let us know how we can help. And to Vernon, again, thank you for even giving us this opportunity. Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, we don't have the outlets that Escambia has. And so this is an amazing opportunity. And I get to be on here with Cliff and Charles. So this is wonderful.
Yeah.
All right, you guys take care. I've got to go. And
right,
again,
Jill.
if you need a job, Walmart in Crestview is hiring today, 10:30 to 2 at the Crestview Resource Center, 798 Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue. Jobs $15 an hour to start with benefits. I'll talk to y'all later. Have a great day.
Goodbye, Jill.
Cliff says I'm paying him so well to come on here. Cliff, you're gonna be, you're gonna have to officially join our staff here, okay? You know I pay well, don't you? So, you didn't have a lot to say, but go ahead and what we got. So what we got, Earl on here? What you got, Charles?
Just don't pay him more than you paying me.
Well, you know,
Not a penny.
You
Not
got
a penny more.
you got Senor. In fact, I pay you double what I want to pay him. Okay.
All right. Good.
All right. Cliff, while I get you there, I'm gonna let you give an opportunity to deal with talk with Earl for a little bit, because we want to keep in Earl good graces, because he's gonna handle the purse strings for us. And you know, and I know you work for the city, so the city can use some of them purse strings.
Ain't that the truth? Now, Earl, wow, the other piece I loved about what you said, I'm actually on the website looking you up here. That's a pretty nice looking picture of you, actually. Donate to the campaign. This is awesome to see and listen to your journey. And obviously the fact that you expressed your comfortability going in various places. I think a lot of people lose sight of that. They think of a place like the VFW and there's this trepidation with going into a VFW or something like that. But I think any candidate should be fearless when it comes to something like that, because Charles made it clear, you know, and this ties into it to me, is that no matter what happens, you're not a loser, right? And to me, that means you're taking a courageous step forward. You're digging in, you're going to places where people won't go. You're talking about things that people won't talk about. And I do agree to some elements of it that it is nonpartisan, because you are the CFO. At the end of the day, you're counting beans and you're counting for both. So actually all the sides, and trying to figure out, at least if I understood this correctly, how do you balance a budget? I'm assuming the CFO will be doing something similar to that. Is that correct?
Not how balancing the budget per se. It's so like obviously the legislature kind of dictates the money where it goes. And so the big thing is like, so the CFO would step in, and not step in, but have oversight of that money. So like, you know, if the
execution of it.
Yeah, it's properly executing, but then also auditing the state books. So like when money does flow out from agencies to donors, or you know, the state is spending, you know, X amount, make sure it's like, you know, the contract is on the up and up and complies with the statutes and regulations.
Right. But we need more nerds like you to do that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm owning it, the nerd. Like I really am. Like I'm you know, I enjoyed my quiet, like I kind of joke around the IRS. You walk around the office and there's Excel sheets, and you know, some
everywhere.
Of these people have incredible Excel sheets. Mine are okay, but like some of these Excel sheets are beautiful. So that's the world I kind of grew up. I mean, I spent the last few years like with the IRS, and also like I do like to flex my legal background, and it's just at the end of the day, you know, my experience is the same as every Floridian. Like you know, I'm dealing with these massive estates, and then you drive home and you see people under a bridge, and you hear, you know, people on TV, or you know, have friends under this insurance crisis, and it's just trying to do stuff to where the average person can thrive. Like, so the average person can plan a vacation, or they could order, like, you know, you could go out and have an appetizer, you know, like, because things are that tight for people. And it's right now, like, as I mentioned, insurance is one of the biggest drivers, and that having the opportunity to take that head on and knowing almost right away, this is something I could deliver for everyone. We're done playing like the partisan stuff, and like that way I can go to these places and say like, hey, I'm going to, I don't care, I don't know if if there's an R next to your name. I'm going to work.
Right.
I'm proud of that public service. Your
Yeah.
military background. Um, you take pride in delivering for the public, and I don't have a American flag on my sleeve anymore, but uh, it's still there, and you swear those oaths,
Yeah.
and they never leave you, and that's what I again hope to deliver for the people of Florida.
I do got a question though. When you think about sort of when you're selected, when you're elected to the position, and you got your first week in the job, and you told the people you're going to deliver on this, I think sometimes there's a conflict between sort of what you said you will do and what's actually doable in the job. Have you given that any thought to think about, say, wow, when I really get in the job, what can I really do, and what change can I really make on day one, on day two, 3 months, 6 months, a year in the job, singularly, where you're not sort of dealing on partisan support or whatever?
Yeah, and I think one of the things is obviously like using the enforcement aspect of, the CFO would be the Department of Financial Services. So obviously investigations and auditing takes time. The one thing I think that would almost be immediately is establishing strong consumer advocacy, right? I'd want immediate dashboards going up on the website. What I want to do is really unleash, again, the Department of Financial Services to make sure, hey, you have an insurance claim. The state is your partner in this insurance claim, right? You've had an issue with an insurance claim. The state will partner with you. And when I say partner, like I mean hold your hand through this process. So we want to make sure, so if there's an issue on the consumer side of handling your claim, the state's there to say, hey, this is the issue. If you're, and if we're running into issues against the insurance company, the state's there again to intervene. So I think the fastest thing we could do is really kind of step up the consumer advocacy portion, and then this, again, if there's any sort of disaster or the state is proactive in being there in, a disaster area and saying, hey, we have people on the ground, we're going to help you with your claim. And again, like I want to emphasize, this is not going to war against the private businesses. This is being a partner to level the playing field so everyone benefits. And so again, using the office just to make sure people can access data. Another thing I'd probably on the consumer advocacy side is one of the things I want to do because insurance is hard. I'm not an insurance attorney for a reason. But I'd want to have like a policyholder bill of rights. And again, that would kind of lay out in layman's terms, everyday terms, that the average Floridian can understand and knows what they're entitled to, what they're not entitled to, what the insurance company can do, what they cannot do. And that way there's a lot of confusion with a lot of this stuff. And it's about educating people. And so a lot of it's like consumer education on the insurance side. And the one other thing I'll highlight too on the financial services side is it's a lot about financial literacy as well, because you do have payday loan lenders and people, like you do have scammers targeting our seniors. So again, it's about literacy, education, and being a partner with the people again.
Yeah. Sounds like at least what that all translates to me is that you want to be the voice of Tallahassee for how you support the people of Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's really a partnership. I think, and again, it's just, I mean, I don't want to say holding their hand, but literally, I mean, some people need their, it's not a knock on them because this stuff is complicated.
Yeah.
And when you have a 9 to 5 job, you can't step outside, for an hour and argue with the insurance companies. So that's where I think the state needs to step in and make sure people can be made whole again, and where they're, again, like I said, thrive.
I got to run real quick, but if I could, before I go, I want to say Charles nailed this when he said, man, you got to get your voice out there. I like what you're talking about. I like the way you think about things. You got to get your voice out. People got to hear you. And they got to realize, to me at least, that this is really a nonpartisan approach. But he is right. Your first approach is you got to get the Democrats to vote for you, because you got to get into the general election. Once you get into the general election, then obviously it opens the aperture up. But man, you got a good story. You're articulate, you know what you want to do, you feel it. And that's the biggest thing, is that when you feel it and you've thought about that first day, that first week, that second week in office, I think that matters more than anything, because that translates to the outcome that you want to deliver to the people. So, man, keep doing it. I got to run, but man, I'm proud of you.
Cliff, one thing before you leave. Did you get that email I sent you? You sent
that a while back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I responded that same
No,
day.
I didn't get no response. I didn't get it. You must have sent it to the wrong Charles Thornton.
Yeah. While he looking at that, I want everybody
I
to go
didn't get
on
the response. Check that
Charles,
email out.
Hold on.
Charles, I want everybody to go onto Earl's website. It's easy. It's just
I've
Earl
texted it.
Ford.
Go ahead.
It's Earl for what is it? EarlForCFO.com. Y'all can donate to his campaign so he can have money to run, so he can have money to advertise on WBQP. So y'all donate. You can donate. What's the maximum amount, Earl, can they donate?
Maximum amount, because it's statewide races. Yeah, it's this is the world of politics, but yeah, max amount is $3,000 just because it's a statewide race. But
Okay.
like I said, we're grassroots. And people are.
How many statewide positions we have? We got the agriculture. We got the comptroller, the governor. Are those the only?
So we actually have it's 3 independent elected positions. So outside of that, you have the governor, and so you have the governor, and then obviously
Right.
lieutenant governors on that one ticket. Then you have the attorney general. Then you have the ag commissioner, and as you mentioned, CFO is really a blend of insurance commissioner, comptroller / treasurer.
But it's a statewide. It's a
statewide. Yeah, statewide.
So it's about 5, including it.
Yeah, and then as far as the voting goes, there's only the lieutenant governor is kind of more of a.
Did that give you a little bit more independence in your position?
I think and I think that, and I really think that was kind of the purpose of the Florida Constitution is not make this. I kind of highlight it as the executive branch in Florida is kind of a board of directors, where obviously the governor is he's the CEO, he's the most powerful, but a lot of these decisions are made as a team, and that's what gives you that independence. And I kind of highlight too, again, being an independent watchdog, if there's a Democratic governor and he's blowing money, right? That's where, again, you step in. So that's where that independence always steps in. The job is clear in, what you're supposed to be doing. So that makes it easy. I mean, it's non-political to step in when money's going to, political campaigns or, being wasted. So, but yeah, so that's the bigger.
Some autonomy in that position.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, Earl, we got almost out of time here, but only give you to get the last word here on what you want the folks here to know to vote for you.
Yeah, so first of all, thank you for having me on. This was incredible, and I know you guys are busy, but I actually already look forward to hopefully coming back. As I mentioned, I do take pride in my public service, and I hope people see, my time within the government, my military time, that this is about us. It really is. I'm a father. I have a 4-year-old, 2-year-old, married to a wonderful woman, and again, I live in everyone's reality. And at the end of the day, it's about getting things back on track. I'm fighting for the country I love, but I also love the state, and I want people to be okay. And so take one less thing off their plate when they go to bed at night. It's one less concern. So anything I could do to make the people of Florida better. And again, if you want to support us in any way, just Earl for CFO. And besides that, I look forward to seeing you guys on the campaign trail. I look forward to all of our future conversations, and but we're gonna keep up the work over here. So thank you guys.
All right, okay. Charles, you have any last words for Earl before we leave?
I just want to say to Earl that today is the first day of the rest of your campaign, and you picked the right station, WBQP, to start building, because this is a lot of folks look at it, but it's an urban station, and most of the voters that you're looking to reach, they're going to be here. So make sure that you check in with Vernon every now and then to get this base going, to stir this pot. You get this pot, and then you go somewhere else and get get it stirred up. Find you some BQPs all over the state, and you'll be okay. Okay.
Yeah, and I got some folks down in the Miami area you probably need to talk to. There's an organization called BOMA. Is the or a statewide media organization, which I'm a member of, so you can get your word out through BOMA, the organization, and then there's a lot of outlets down the media, both print and radio and TV media down in that area that you might want to touch bases with as well. So,
hey, Earl, wait a minute, bro. Earl, I don't think you realize this here. Vernon normally ends the show at 0900 promptly. I mean, that's a gift. 0900 prompt. I just looked at my. It's 9:31.
I know.
That should tell you something. Tell you something.
I keep saying that. People are like, "What position are you running?" And the reaction is, I say, "I'm running for the greatest position in all of Florida, Chief Finance Officer," and they either laugh or they're confused. So
yes. So it's E-A-R-L-E.
I don't know about you guys, but I gotta go. I
gotta go too. But I thought that was important enough.
It was, but it's EARLE. For FORCFO.com. That's his website. EARLE for CFO.com.
Yep, that's it.
Don't forget my email. Don't forget my email.
I stand corrected. I did not respond to you, but I did just now.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Everybody, thank you. All the guys, everybody got it. So much. I got to get out of here because I'm going into my next program here, y'all. Thank you. I preempted my 9 o'clock show for you. So we'll see you later. Y'all have a great day, okay?
Hump Day. Have a wonderful Wednesday with Morning with Vernon.
It's time for Mornings with Vernon. Yeah. Yeah. Get up now. Come on now. Get up. For Mornings with Vernon. Get up now. Let's go. Get up now.